Okay, we're back. So I checked the stream manager thing. I am on low latency mode. So I'm not quite sure why this is happening. By the way, to see how a rainbow connection was filmed really demonstrates the love Jim Henson had for Muppets. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, so maybe the delay is fixed. I'm not sure. When I hit stop streaming, it took ages for the stream to stop. Maybe because it needed to catch up. I'm not quite sure. Which makes me think that possibly the big delay was it getting from OBS to YouTube. So a big delay from getting from me to you. Yeah, hopefully we have less of a delay now. I suppose to just check where this has ended up with us being. Let's do... I'll just go back to just chatting for a minute. Okay, let's do a quick thing of, again, you're going to be typing the letter, the number 1. So get it ready in your keyboards. I'll give you a second to do that. And then, okay, you should have 1 typed now. So be ready to hit enter. 3, 2, 1, hit enter now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, Jesus fuck, this is so long, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, what the fuck, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. I'm going to stop there because this is getting ridiculous. Are you guys like... Are you there? Have you literally just disappeared? Whoa, we got concurrent viewers up to 14. How the hell did that happen? What is happening right now? Why is the delay so enormous? Like, it must be like legit a 2-minute delay. So long as you guys did it as instructed there. If you don't know why I'm counting right now, it was because before starting counting, I asked people to just send 1 in the chat, just so I could count the delay. And it's fucking enormous right now. That's why I restarted the stream, because we had like a 1 to 2 minute delay. And it's seeming like it's, what, now it's been like 2.5 minutes since I started that? What's happening right now? I'm so lost as to what's happening. Yeah, I don't understand why we have such an enormous delay. Everything on my PC seems to be fine. I suppose the go-to would be thinking, no, because if it was not having enough bandwidth, I feel like instead of a delay, it would just be choppy. What could be adding such an enormous delay? I don't know. Are you guys even still there in chat? I gotta... are you guys still there? Lol? Does the stream have an issue. Oh, failed to send. Specific live chat is no longer live. What do you mean? I'm live again. Wait, what? Oh my gosh, and everything is just picked up again. I'm just getting a flood of stuff come through. So my chat was just broken. It was just my chat was broken this whole time. I've just got a flood of messages in chat. So Lismara saying, oh yeah, lol, is the last thing I've just seen. Oh my god. And none of that's showing up on screen right now. I guess to show you what I've just had happen. What the hell? So this is what I've just had, okay? I'm like, okay, what is happening here? There's just no response since I've restarted the stream. So I said like, hey, like, are you guys still there? Like, what's going on right now? And as soon as I hit send on that, wave of messages come through. Let's just test. Like, what happens now? Okay, that goes through. None of this is coming through on the... Sunny seems a lot less delayed. Yeah. None of it's coming through on the on-screen chat. It's just coming through in my chat bot. Hi! Glad to see you guys again. Wow, we have like 17 current viewers. How did that happen? The stream breaks and like everybody comes to say hi, I guess. Okay, let's do one last test. Okay, but I think we're fixed now. Okay, everybody, get ready with a 1 in your chat, but don't hit enter yet. Okay, just have that 1 there and be ready to hit enter. Okay, when I say to go, you're gonna go, and I'm gonna start counting, and hopefully we have like about 10 seconds. All right? Okay. 3, 2, 1, send. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 second delay. Okay. Oh, I don't know what caused that, but on screen chat's just broken. Oh, what a relief. Okay, thank you guys, thank you. All I did was turn the stream off and on again. Well, hey, all the people here that are faces that I do not normally see. Welcome. I'm guessing just when another notification popped through on the Discord, a bunch of people joined. Yeah. Hells yeah, Crowley Lines, you were first. Yeah, welcome. I feel like we just went over a bunch of stuff and most of you missed it. Okay. It would be good if we could get that on-screen chat working, but I guess if I just leave it here, then like it's fine. I put in the recommended tab on YouTube. That's fucking sick. Is that what everybody's got going on? Did the YouTube algorithm just like be like, yo, you just restarted your stream? Hells yeah. Well, yeah, let's take questions and stuff. That's so fucking cool. Maybe this title was a good thing. I don't know. Your question for me is, how do you approach trying to feminize your voice for singing versus speaking? So essentially, focus on speaking to start with. Get that speaking to a point where it is totally fine. The core difference between singing and speaking is, well, essentially there is no core difference. You're just maintaining those same feminization factors in your singing voice. That said, once we go into singing, there's a lot more stylistic things that become relevant. So like, often female singers will be singing different things from male singers, and that's gonna, oh, sorry, knocked my mic there. That's gonna be where those stylistic features start coming into play. It's gonna depend on the style you're going for. I will say that for all singers, generally, they do feminize a little bit. Not for every single style, but for most styles, especially like pop stuff. Even the masculine singers, they'll all slightly feminize their voices during singing, only to a very small degree. It just seems to be something that, as globalism has done its thing, we've all kind of converged around doing that. I say we as if I'm a singer. I don't do singing stuff, by the way. I have some basic knowledge, but I'm not a singer. So that's like a basic thing to get you started there. Beyond that, you'd need to look for more specific stuff, like what style are you going for. Start off feminizing your speaking voice. Get really good at that, and then approach stuff one at a time with singing. So like, is there a song you want to start with? Start there. Break down the features of that and start working towards building that up, and then go for some more stuff in that style to start with, like broaden that out, and then start expanding your horizons from there. Is generally what I would recommend as a path. Yeah, does that make sense? Is there a follow-up question on there? Is there anything not quite clear about my explanation there? I just saw the stream was scrolling YouTube. That's super fucking cool. Sick. It's so cool that we have a whole bunch of new people here. I suppose, okay, to go over who I am and what's going on right now. My name is Zara. Pleased to meet you all. I am a gender-affirming voice teacher, or trans voice teacher, whatever term you prefer. I do feminization, androgenization, masculization, whatever it is. Anything to do with changing the gender presentation of your voice, I'm all about it. So if you want something like this, or you want something like this, or you want something in between those two things, or if you want like a, remind myself how Z from Trans Voice Lesson sounds. Hey, this is Z from Trans Voice. If you want something more like this, where we're having that like ultra feminized voice, or if you're wanting something more like this, where we have that much more masculized voice, we can go through the whole lot. So yeah, that's what I do. You can get lessons from me if you join the Discord. There's a link in the description right now. We have just done a public lesson just a moment ago. I'm probably the most affordable coach out there right now. So my public lessons, like they're ones that are streamed, that other people get to listen in on in the Discord and like ask questions on and stuff as well. They're totally free, so you can just get those for free. So we just come away from a lesson with Liz Mara, who got their lesson for free. That's my like thank you for letting other people learn from it. And then my private lessons are £20 a lesson. So yeah, that's me. Bold of you to assume we can pay for things in this economy. Well, you can pay for free, okay? You can afford free. Yeah, that's who I am. So that's, yeah, what this is all about. Alright, I'll go through some more of the chat questions. Just general voice question. This is from Crowley Lyons. How do I make my voice deep enough to make a good growling sound? I have a subby boyfriend, and he agreed that he wants to hear that kind of thing. Okay, so it depends on exactly what you mean by growling sound, because there's a few different things that you could mean by that. Generally speaking, though, that's not to do with how deep your voice is. So to define terms a little bit, and for people that are brand new to voice stuff, we have pitch, okay? Pitch is okay, that's all pitch. We have size. Size is you can hear how the pitch didn't change there. And we have weight. Weight is that kind of buzzy sound. And to take those over here to give you like a full, clear idea of what these sounds are. That's all pitch. That's all size, and that's all weight, okay? Don't muddle weight up with volume as well. It's a different thing. It's not just a loudness thing. So those are the main gendered things. In terms of growling, we could be thinking of a variety of things. Maybe you're thinking of a heavy weight. Maybe you're thinking of like some kind of false hold thing where we're going like kind of thing. We're saying subby boyfriend, we're probably thinking some bedroom noises. While trying to keep this safe for work. Depends on exactly what you're looking for. You mean growling like a book boyfriend? What is a book boyfriend? I have no idea what that is. Grab a... Is there a YouTuber or someone that you could send me a link to their voice that has this feature? And then I could be like, oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah. But yeah, you could be going for like you could be going for rumble, which is like, you could be going for like a falsehood growl, which is like, there's a whole bunch of things you could be going for there. Yeah. Give me some more specifics and I can answer your question a bit more. I'm having to scroll up and down to go through people's questions, sorry about that. Think take a question, super welcome. Yeah, the title. Clearly this was a good title. In terms of, being as we have a bunch of people here, would it have affected you clicking if I called it trans voice or gender affirming voice? I feel like trans voice probably does better with the algorithm, but I'm not sure. Yeah, what do you think? So instead of ask a trans voice teacher, ask a gender affirming voice teacher. Would that have made a difference? Let me know. You've wanted to aim for a lower feminine voice, but you're not sure how to start training it. Yeah, so a lower feminine voice. So we went over that pitch, size, weight thing. I'm going to keep hitting my mic. I'm so sorry. I've just changed my mic setup. That's generally going to be get your smaller size, get your lighter weight, but go for a lower pitch, which is somewhere similar to what I have going on. Because my pitch is like down, sometimes even as low as D3. That's like the lowest I'll ever go. Usually around like F3, F sharp 3. To go through like, because it's a super broad topic in terms of the entirety of trans voice. Like I can't just teach you trans voice now. But if you're looking for that, first of all, you can just check past live VODs, because we have just a bunch of free workshops there. Every single week I do a workshop where I go through the entire process, start to finish. They usually last between 3 and 4 hours because like we're going through the full fucking process in as much detail as I can. And the last hour or so is usually me taking questions and like doing one-on-one stuff with just audience volunteers. So if you're looking for something like that, you can check it out on Saturday, 7 o'clock BST. If you want to be part of the audience, then head over to the Discord and you can join the VC while I'm presenting it, so that at the end I can give you some one-on-one help with your voice, if you'd like that. Yeah, so anybody that is like, how do I even begin with this? That's probably your best bet. Yeah, I'll catch up with some questions over and I'll give some general starter advice as well, once I've gotten through the chat. Any kind of voice feminization feels super hard? Figured you just listen, stick around, not ask questions. Yeah, so if it feels super hard, definitely go to the workshops. We have a big issue in trans voice and gender affirming voice where people have made it way too fucking complicated. All you are doing, okay? If I go from this voice right now to this voice right now, I made 2 adjustments, okay? Right now you can hear a kind of buzziness to my voice. If I just remove that buzziness and end up somewhere over here, where I have that much gentler, softer voice, and then I change the size, where I make it more like here, now I've got that feminine voice again. That's it. It's 2 things. It's 2 things. We use drills to teach you how to do that. You don't just have to mimic it. So the drills teach you exactly how to do that. It's 2 things. It's not this huge complicated thing. It takes a long time to figure that out and figure out how to do that, because these are sounds that you've probably not played with before, but it's not a complicated subject matter. Yeah, I hope that makes that nice and clear. Definitely go to one of the workshops, because like in a single 4-hour session, really in terms of the actual lecture portion, 2 hours, I'll explain the entirety of gender affirming voice, trans voice, including stuff like past where you've learned to feminize or masculize, and like making it your own, and like tweaking things that aren't the gendered things. It really, people have made it way too complicated. It should be a very, very approachable topic. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Rant over. Do you have any tips to separate resonance and pitch? You find when trying to raise your resonance, I've lost that. Trying to raise your resonance, you often go into mixed voice. Not quite chest, but also not head voice. So first little thing, mixed voice is actually made the fuck up. Mixed voice is either you're using you're using your M1, that's a proper name for chest voice, or you're using your M2, that's a proper name for head voice. So again, M1 is what I'm using right now. M2 is if I'm talking like this. You can play with your M1 to sound like M2, and you can play with your M2 to sound like M1. And that's what mixed voice actually is. It's not really that you're doing like a 1.5. It's just that you're making one of them sound like the other. But you're always using one of the two, unless you're going to like M3 or M0 or something like that. But yeah, in terms of separating resonance and pitch, you just drill for that. So my basic drill for going through resonance stuff, and when I've said size before, resonance is the same thing. It's just two words for the same thing. But essentially we're going for, my drill for it is I use whispers to help you set up. So we start off with a very large cheese, okay? Cheese, cheese, cheese. And we start making that smaller. Cheese, 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 cheese. So you just whisper the word cheese and try to make it smaller, okay? It'll kind of sound like a pitch is going up, but that's not actually what's happening. I'll explain why in just a sec. So you go through your cheeses. Cheese, 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 cheese. Go through a phonation test. Cheese. And then to try and start removing pitch from the equation, we'll try to keep that as stable as possible and go through a very, very familiar pitch movement, like a little tune. For most people, I say go for the Mario theme because it's been so ingrained into all of our brains because of the meme culture that everybody can do the music is now throwing me off. I can't believe I'm now failing to do the exact thing that I said everyone can do. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. So go through your drill. Cheese, 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 cheese. Cheese. And then a ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. And use that to separate. So that's a whole bunch of pitch movements. You keep the size stable. That's how you start separating them. And you can even start moving out of that. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Try going down while keeping the size small to really help you separate out those two things. Yeah, and if you're not using, like, so the cheese drill is just a modified big dog, little dog. If you've done that, like a cheese, 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 cheese. Yeah, you get the idea. Just go through your drill and then add on a pitch, a little pitch tune afterwards to start separating the two. Yeah. Boo. Okay. Getting through chat again. In your defense, it's very pinnable. Crowley. Ground like an angry puppy. You have no idea what growl XP is. Yeah. Boo. I am catching up. Animalistic growl. FF growl is way easier. Yeah, definitely is. You think you want to make your voice sound more rough? Ooh, again, it depends on what you mean by rough. Do you mean like a voice that starts over somewhere like here and then ends up somewhere more like here? That's adding a lot of what we would call heavier weight. A lot of people would call that roughness. To show you that over here, it would be moving your voice from somewhere over here to somewhere more over here, where we have that more, that rougher, you might call it, that heavier, that buzzier kind of a voice. Yeah, are you on about that? Forget me not. If so, I'll give you a little thing for it. Type you'd see an NSFW book/films. Okay, I need something more specific. Books don't make sounds for a start. To be honest, gender affirming might have made me click faster. Oh, cool. Okay. It does. That's true. I'm sorry I'm so behind on chat. There's so many. I'm not used to this many people in chat. I will catch up. I promise. Would you suggest any little checklist for femme voice? Like, I don't know, tongue forward, larynx up, mouth small? Checklist is, okay, first of all, okay, this is really important, okay? Really focus on this bit. This is like, if there is like one trick, this is the one trick, okay? And this is something that I see a lot of teachers teaching this very wrong, okay? Do not try to change your anatomy. Don't try to raise your larynx. Don't try to change your vocal fold behavior. Don't try to do things with your body. Try to do things with the sound, okay? What I mean by this is, yes, your body is going to change, obviously, because this is your body that makes the sounds, but that's not where I want you focusing, okay? You're not very good at controlling your body directly like that. You don't control muscles. You give your brain macro instructions, and that your brain turns those into micro instructions. For example, I'm picking up this bottle. I'm gonna flip the cap. I'm gonna push the straw sucky thing up. I'm gonna take a swig. At no point there did I think about a single muscle of my body. I didn't go, okay, tighten my bicep to raise my arm, flex my thumb, index finger, middle finger, and ring finger, build enough friction to pop that. That's not how you control your body. So I don't want you trying to control your voice like that. Don't think about, I need to raise up my larynx, okay? Instead, think of, I need to brighten the sound, or make it sound smaller, or whatever it is. I need to go from oh to ah, okay? That's how you should be controlling this. A good drill will help you do that. Yeah. Hopefully that's like super, super clear. That's like such a useful and important thing. Yeah. Wish voice training could be done in just 10 minutes. Yeah, I know. The checklist, by the way, the little checklist is small size, lightweight. That's it. That's all it is. Okay? Crowley Lions joining the Discord. Oh, hells yeah. Definitely anybody that's, if I miss anything or anybody wants some more specific guided help, definitely join the Discord, because that's where I can give so much more help. I'm trying to make sure I get through everybody here and everybody gets like a turn of their question. You have a passable voice, which while it definitely needs work, how can you encourage yourself to start using it instead of just defaulting to your normal voice, especially with friends? Yeah, that's a really big one. That's a really, really big one. First of all, I'm going to prepare you for, it's harder than you even think it's going to be. When you start using it, you're going to find this thing happens where your voice, it's like you can't control it anymore. Even though you could before, suddenly everything's completely out of whack. What's happened is all of your usage of your femme voice, you did say femme, didn't you? Oh, you didn't specify. Okay, all of your usage of your modified voice has all so far been during practice. So right now your mind is in like, when I'm in practice mode, I do this thing. When you try to take that into conversation, it's a totally different environment. So you're no longer in practice mode, you're in talking mode. So you need to teach your brain that it's not a practice mode thing, it's just a whenever the fuck I'm using my voice thing. So it's gonna feel, you're gonna be completely thrown off when you try to use it in the real world. Best way to get through that is through. You just have to push through it. This is the one thing where it's just persist and it fixes itself. Because you know how to do it. You know exactly how to do it. You don't have that connection of like, your brain doesn't know that that's what you're needing to do in that moment. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. Just start using it and know that it's going to have an awkward phase and push through it. It's like growing out your hair. If you've had short hair and you start growing it out, you go through an awkward phase. Same thing. For me, it lasted about 2 months. And after that, my voice was just my voice. And it became what is my default voice. I dream in this voice now. I think in this voice. This is just my voice. Outside of that, to encourage yourself, it's just do it. You could start off with some people you trust that would encourage you. Like tell people that you want to be using your voice around, but like, hey, this is something I want to do. I want you to encourage me to do it. Like if you hear me using my unmodified voice, stop me and make me switch over to continue the conversation. Like have them set it as a rule. That can really help. Are these MTF tips? These are MTF, FTM, just voice. Anyone who is trying to change the gender presentation of their voice, even if they're cis, I don't care. If you're trying to master the skill, sick. Yeah, it's welcome to everybody. Why was this stream suggested to you? Maybe because you're interested in voice. I don't know. Just set a trap of an enticing video and we took it. Yeah, this has gone. I normally get like 4 or 5 viewers, so this is pretty intense right now. When you think rough, you think gravelly, like you want to say with some phlegm. Well, that sounds kind of gross. You could be thinking, forget me not, like Is it something like that? Or like there's a lot of things that gravelly can mean. We could be thinking we could be thinking as opposed to like oh. We could be thinking we could be thinking what other phlegmy sounds are there? You might is it this right here? You might be thinking of this. I think you might be thinking of fry. Which is this is fry. Hey, you started training around 1.5 months ago, and you were wondering when will you see changes? Your training focused on pitch and resonance, and also on singing. Okay, first thing, unless it's for your singing stuff, forget about pitch. Oh, here's another. Okay, big tip for everybody. Note this down. Okay, write this the fuck down and plaster it on your wall. Pitch is barely gendered at all. Pitch don't matter. Pitch don't mean shit. Okay. Here is my voice, hopefully sounding reasonably feminine. Here is my voice, hopefully sounding reasonably masculine. The pitch has barely changed between the two. I can literally continue my same pitch pattern as I'm talking and switching between the two. Okay? Pitch is so barely relevant. Drop pitch. Okay? It's like 1%. Okay? It's nothing. Focus on your resonant stuff and bring in some weight. I didn't hear you talk about weight there. Bring your weight in. Also, you've only been training for 1.5 months. That's a short amount of time. Most people are going to take about 6 months or more. 6, 8, that sort of like 3/4 of a year is usually what I expect from people. My students tend to be a bit faster than that, but you know, whatever. By the way, keep it up, your awesome work. Thank you. That's super really nice. Sky makes music. That's a really nice thing to say. Thank you. I'm doing my best to try and make sure I'm getting through these questions because I can see myself getting further and further behind. Looks like you turned up at the right moment. Was about to ask a question about what does everybody mean with raise your larynx? How? Question answered. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Let's just explain some terms real quick that you'll come across. Weight. Most people call it weight, but you could also hear it called buzziness. Some people will call it roughness. Quotient is a term you might come across, but it's not used very much now. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about what it means right now. The point is for sound difference of and or and that buzzy sound coming through. Okay, that's the important thing there. Also, size, larynx height, resonance, vocal tract size. Those are the usual things I hear referred to as your other element, okay? And again, that's the one of the reasons it's called larynx height is the main thing you're changing is the height of your larynx. Again, do not focus on changing the height of your larynx, focus on the sound, but that is what consequentially will happen as you change your sound. You can supersede this. There's my larynx. Well, Adam's apple is a part of your larynx. Just watch what happens to mine. Okay, it's just moving up and down. That's like the core thing that's happening there. Cool. Now if you're checking, this is a smaller channel. Yeah, it's a smaller channel. It's a tiny channel. I haven't even gotten YouTube properly sorted yet. It's just where all my streams end up on. It's also streamed on TikTok. Kind of hope not. That platform is so hostile to transphobe. I did not know that. It's not streamed towards TikTok, as Mihogi told you there. I did not know that they were hostile though, because that is somewhere I was planning to eventually move into. So maybe I should consider that a little bit more, because I don't want like a bunch of like transphobes trying to fuck up the community. We'll see. We'll see. That is something to think about though. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh, I hit the bottom of chat. Yo, we did it. Okay, thank you guys for letting me catch up. Thinking in a different voice seems like an interesting philosophical debate. Philosophical concept. Yeah, it's so as I would conceptualize it, it's essentially you think, or at least I'm pretty sure most people do, think in your default voice. Okay? So whatever your default is what you're gonna think in. If you just use a specific voice for long enough, it will become your default voice. Yeah, that's that. I have heard of people specifically intentionally training their their internal voice. I've just seen you said different voices, Lamau. But like, yeah, your default voice, your internal voice for voice you think in, usually will track just what is your default voice. What is like your go-to immediate? When things go wrong, where do they go wrong towards? Because they're going wrong towards your default. Thinking in a different voice seems like an interesting philosophical concept. I'll talk about that now instead of the nonsense I just went on about. Yeah, definitely. In my opinion, it's silly to say that something is like someone's voice. It is just a voice they're doing. Like, which of these is my voice? Is it this voice right now? Is it this voice right now? Is it this voice right now? Like, which of those is it? They're all just voices that I'm making. Or like, this, okay, this should really clear up the point. Which of these notes is the guitar's note? That is so fucking hard to do when it's a mic in your way. Which of those are the guitar's note? Well, they all are. They're just notes being produced by a guitar. The guitar doesn't have a note. Same with your voice. You don't have a voice. There is an instrument, and you play it however you want to play it. And that's all there is to it, really. You will have something that is like a habit, but what is your voice is just, well, if it's you making the sound, then it's your voice, I would say. I think that's the most, I don't know how else you would like approach a problem in a way that is like logically consistent. Am I welcome to if non-binary? Of course you are. Everybody's welcome here. Hey!
Sky Makes Music subscribed to the channel.
Yo, Sky Makes Music. Thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, we have a bunch of people here. I should say, like the stream, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Definitely subscribe to stuff, because we have like a bunch of stuff that you'll probably find really useful. It's usually live streams, but I am planning on having some videos coming soon. But yeah, everybody is welcome, whether they are trans, non-binary. I know some people call non-binary not trans. I don't understand that, but whatever. I don't care. Cis people, whatever. If you want to learn how to do stuff with your voice, then come learn how to do stuff with your voice. That's all there is to it. Anyone can do this. Gonna subscribe just because you seem cool and you should have more subs. Yo, Squishy Fishy, thank you so much. If you did subscribe, we didn't get a notification, so I hope that hasn't gotten fucked up for you. Yeah, something like that. First option. Oh, fry is probably what you're thinking of. Yeah, okay. So fry is something like this. Most people can just do fry, but if you're struggling with doing fry, there's a few things we could be playing around with for doing fry. You could try. We could try doing. Drop your pitch really low and just keep going. Eventually, you're going to get a really heavy voice and you're going to have fry coming in. Okay, so get to that low pitch where once the fry kicks in, then bring your pitch back again. So our end result is you've done nothing with pitch, but you've brought back fry. Okay, play around with it, get some control of it. Eventually, you should be able to just turn your fry on and off, and go from there. That would be my advice for you. To play around with that. And if you're looking for just something to compare to, the only character I can think of, or like online thing I could think of, would be like Raven from Teen Titans. She just exists in Fry. Like, she is constantly talking like this. This is her voice 24/7. It's not necessarily a feminine thing, just she's the only character I can think of that does that. But I'm sure you'll find others, and like men can do it. There's nothing masculine or feminine about Fry, it's just a sound. So if you want it in your voice, throw it into your voice. Cool. Okay, trying to keep your... Whoa. I totally just missed that. Trying to keep your vocal weight... Okay, hang on. Let me figure out chat for a second. Trying to keep vocal weight down while also keeping resonance feels like pushing and pulling at the same time. Yes, especially for the masculizers. Wait, vocal weight down as in removing vocal weight or adding vocal weight? You might be meaning removing. You're called Sylvie. Okay, I assume we're feminizing here. Yes, try to... Okay, practice weight, get really good at weight. Then practice resonance, not worrying about weight, and get really good at resonance. Then try to bring them together. Don't try to, like, when you go to resonance, you can let yourself get heavy again. That's fine. Because we're trying to understand these as separate concepts anyway, so that when you go to choose how your voice is going to sound, you can tweak it however you want it to sound. So learn them independently from one another. It'll be much easier that way anyway, and then bring them together. And when you bring them together, whatever drill you did for resonance, do that first. Whatever drill you did for weight, then do that, and use that to go into your voice, okay? Because that stacking of drills will give you both of those modifications. Okie dokie. Do you have any tips on trans masks voice training? Absolutely, yeah. So you're basically going for the opposite of feminizers. You're trying to have a larger sound, a larger vocal tract size with a heavier weight, okay? So you're moving your voice from over here, you're dragging down that, I am expanding that largeness sound, so I kind of sound more cavernous right now, and then you're adding in more buzziness, so that you end up with a more masculine voice. And yeah, you just play around with those until you find the voice you're looking for. Obviously, there's a process to that. It's not just that. If I do get fully caught up in chat, I'll go through what the actual process is. But if I don't, workshops are the best place to go. 100% join the Discord. That's going to be your best place for that sort of stuff. Do you have a specific workshop you recommend checking out? Yes. Okay, if you check out... I guess there's two ways you can go for it. Either join the Discord, go into the events section. In those events, there is voice workshops. We also do makeup workshops as well. I hired a makeup artist to help you all with makeup as well. There's also, if you're just wanting to stay on YouTube, if you're in the Discord, you get to join in the workshops and actually like participate, and like I can analyze your voice specifically. If you just listen from the YouTube, that's totally fine as well. You can also listen back to all the past workshops are in the like live section of my channel. You can see all of the past workshops. Oh, there's a playlist even. I think it needs updating. There's a couple of weeks missing from it, but yeah. And the workshops are every single Saturday, 7 p.m. BST, British summertime. Because I am British, if you couldn't tell. You think you're stuck, you have full control of the larynx, weight, OPC, pitch, and your articulation, but it still don't sound cis. You have no idea why. Okay. Don't try to make your voice sound cis, okay? Because I assume you've heard a variety of different women's voices. They are not all the same. There is no such thing as a cis voice, whether that's masculine or feminine. There is no such thing as a masc voice or a femme voice. It's a category of voices. So if your goal is just femme, or just masc, or just passing, or androgynous, these are you're never going to reach your goal because it's not something that exists. You need to get more specific. So what kind of a femme voice do you want? Are there any celebrities you compare yourself to? And you don't necessarily need to be like, I want her voice or I want his voice. It could just be like, oh, I like this element from this person's voice and this element from this person's voice, and you start building up a voice that you're going for. Try to get way more specific than just passing, because otherwise you're going to have this goal with an endlessly moving goalpost, which is going to be really annoying for you. Let's keep this music going. Let me hide this for a second while I change the music playlist. At some point I will get it so that they're all in just one big folder, but give me just a second to continue the music. We'll go for this one. Okay. And minimize you again. Okay, music will return in a sec. Cool, okay. Yeah, you started using a different internal voice sooner because it was an inner voice that needed to be more kind of patient with you. Talk you through some different stuff. Yeah, that's valid. That's valid. Are you on a Mexican radio? I am not on a Mexican radio. I don't know if there was a more fleshed out question there. We have music from a creator called Soul Strings. She's part of our community, and she's been doing liked music for a long time, and she just straight up sent me a few albums that I was she gave me permission to just use them as our stream background music. So very cool. If you like the music, just type in Soul Strings on YouTube. I think they also go by S Dream Explorer S, and you'll find it. Is this your passion? Hells yeah, it's my passion. Yeah, I fucking love doing this. This is like the coolest thing in the world. Fuck yeah, this is my passion. Your voice influences the way you think because you associate certain characteristics with set voice. A feminine voice might be associated with feminine attributes and vice versa. That's going to depend on the person massively. Some people are going to have that super hard connection. Some people aren't necessarily. I think it varies a lot. What you're getting at is with some linguistic influences on how language influences the way you think. Engaging at discussion. Yeah, hells yeah. It's certainly so in terms of the language you use. Like if you start using different words, that's going to affect. There's no way that's not going to affect the way you think, because you're going to start thinking in different words, which like all words ultimately have slightly different meanings. It's going to slowly influence the way you think. In terms of like what we do though, unless somebody wanted to change the words they use, that's not really necessarily going to be anything that's relevant. Women don't have to say different words to men, and vice versa. So, yeah. Are you on hormones? Is it painful? You want to start? Yes, I'm on hormones. No, it's not painful. There is an initial period of some discomfort and pain around your top half, if you catch my drift. Essentially, as your breasts start budding and start growing, they can be pretty tender, and like the initial growth does hurt a little bit. Only lasts a few months, so it passes pretty quick. And it's not like intense pain. It's just like ooh, that's a little bit tender kind of a thing. It's pretty manageable. Like it'll suck a little bit during that few months, but it very quickly is not a big deal. I certainly wouldn't think that would be anybody's reason to not transition if that's something you're wanting to do. It's not so much pain that it would ever have you not wanting to continue. And while we're talking about pain, let's quickly, just another voice thing that I want to talk about. Big important thing, this voice should be no more effortful than your unmodified voice, okay? It's just as easy for me to use this voice as it is for me to use this voice. These are both the exact same amount of effort. There's no more physical effort. I'm not pushing anything. No, I'm not holding anything. Nothing's been squeezed. It should feel completely relaxed. That's a really important thing. I'm going to skip ahead to Crystal Spire's question. This is an important one, and now I'll go back again. For self-plug reasons, obviously. You need to know how much voice training costs, how to contact a voice trainer, and get the training you need. Easy to solve that. I am a voice teacher, as the title implies. I'm probably one of the cheapest voice teachers around, because it's kind of crazy how much some people charge. Head to my Discord, that's where you can book lessons with me if you would like to. My public lessons, which are one streamed just like this, so live streamed lesson, which, it's a live streamed lesson. Those ones are free because I figure, well, you're allowing other people to learn from your work, from what we're doing, so I'm down with that being a free thing. It's an advertisement for me, and it's like helping other people, so that's free. If you're looking for private lessons, then I charge £20 an hour, £20 per 55-minute lesson. That's pretty low though. Usually you're looking, the prices vary massively. I tend to find it's usually around 50-70 for public lessons, close to 100 for private, but that does vary a lot. I've seen private lessons closer to £50. I've seen private lessons closer to like 150, even up to £300. There's a lot of variation, so and not a lot of that variation is based on skill of a teacher, unfortunately. It's largely just like basically clout, which does make sense. If you're more clouted up, more people will hear about you, and so more people will be applying for lessons, which pushes the price up. It's just like supply and demand. Cool. Do I have suggestions for certain exercises that can make your voice sound deeper? Depends on what you mean by deeper. Do you mean pitch lower? Pitch lower is probably not meaning pitch lower because that's not a particularly gendered thing. If you're meaning size larger, then that's ow, which I imagine is probably what you're looking for. Then yes. You know, we're getting near to the bottom. I'm close to catching up. So let's quickly go over. This is like, you're skipping ahead a little bit if you're a starter here, but this is going to be like the biggest modification, okay? If you're masculizing, you're going to be using the word paw, okay? It's like a cat's paw. And we're going to whisper that word, okay? And then we're going to try to make that sound larger, okay? It'll kind of sound like it's going down in pitch. It's not actually. I'll explain that in a second, okay? So we're going for... and then bring that into some sound. And now I have that larger voice. That deeper voice is probably what you're thinking of. I'll get through the rest of the questions, and then we'll talk a little bit about some of the basics of what gives voice the gendering that it has, or the gender presentation that it has. You didn't see something pop up when you subbed, so you may want to see if there's an error with it or sometime. Oh, that super sucks. I'm so sorry. I don't even know what I do with that, because I don't have a thing so I can replay it. Damn it. That's really annoying. I will get something set up so I can just test that button. Right, I can... Well, it's kind of tricky to do midstream. But I'll get something set up for that. That's definitely something I should have. Thank you for letting me know that, though. Forget me not. If people do sub and like they don't have a thing pop up, like just say you subbed and I'll thank you. Like, Jesus. You should be getting your thank yous. And yeah, forget me not. Thank you for subbing. That's like really cool of you. So thank you. Boo. Hormones themselves shouldn't be painful, though if you're looking to do injections, it does come with a pain. Yeah, injections, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. I take, my estrogen is in patches, and my testosterone blocker is a blocker called cyproterone, and it's a tablet. 2 questions have to be voice rated? Not necessarily. I'm going to be more focused on the voice rated questions, because that's like what people are going to be looking for from me, but it doesn't have to be. Most of my streams will just kind of chit-chat. Sylvie, you subbed? Yo, thank you so much for the sub, Sylvie. And Fren, you also subbed? Thank you so much. I am so sorry it didn't play the thing for you. In fact, you know what? If I turn off my display for a second, I can go into my stream hours, and we'll frickin'... I can't replay you the thing, but I can just make it do a little test thing. So you can at least have that as a thing. Gosh, it's been ages since I've actually set this up. Oh, I think it was Streamlabs, actually. Let me... Gosh, this has been so long that it literally doesn't even pop up straight away. Wait, log in? Really? You haven't got that auto-logged in? Why is that not... Okay, give me a second. We are going to get this immediately set up for you guys. Is it on my other browser? Is that why? Probably is, isn't it? Stream... yeah, that is it. Okay. Alright, let's get you some frickin' stuff popping up on your screen. Because it is BS for you to not have that. You did all the hard work of subbing. You deserve a little ding for that. And if I move up back to that screen, we can have this back over here. No! Why is that there? Go away. There we go. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't friggin' put account details on screen or something, or like dox myself or some shit. We have doxed myself. There. I have doxed myself way too many times. Okay. Oh, I can go into my activity feed. Wait, can I replay some of these? Can we do it? Replay activity. Okay. Is it gonna do it? Hell
Sky
yeah.
Makes Music subscribed to the channel.
Boom. And we'll replay that one. Oh, but the others haven't shown up.
Stoff subscribed to the channel.
But the other ones haven't shown up. So I want to go into my overlays, go into alerts overlay, and double check that this is working. You know there's music? Yeah, there's music playing. At least there should be music playing. If I do a little emulate, is that going to emulate properly? Okay. Tell you what.
Subscribe to the channel.
If we have a situation where your sub does not pop up on screen, tell me and I will put an emulation through and we can pretend it was you, okay? Darn it. Also, Artificer Unofficial, thank you so much for subscribing. That's super annoying. That's so trash with that broke. This is the first time it's not worked, so that sucks. Don't stress about fixing? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you're right. What's my opinion on Elon Musk and Trump lesbian relationships troubles? Yeah, it's hilarious. Hilarious that they are breaking up. Although from what I've heard, it seems like they're getting back together. So, you know, oh well. But it was fun to see that they were having a little breakup.
Pretending that it was going all right.
Lily Murphy subscribed to the channel.
Yo, Lily Murphy, thank you so much. I guess sending through an emulated one fixed it? I don't know why, but hell's yeah. Yeah, that's my opinion on Elon Musk and Trump lesbian relationship breaking up. I think it's fucking hilarious.
She filled the vial with a poison.
Yes.
Just enough to make him disappear forever.
How do you keep from... Also, hi, Shunton. How do you keep from feeling defeated in the beginning? Yeah, that's a big one. That's a really good question. Firstly, make sure you have a system and you know what's happening. Okay? Read something from the sim, go for it, do it. That's absolutely fine.
She woke up early, wants
yeah,
to go.
have a system at play, okay? So you're going through... I'll normally start people on just, if you're brand new, start off with our warm-up with softies, because you gain a lot of good vocal hygiene from there, so that I can have a peace of mind. But when we go into actually changing your voice, you have some good vocal hygiene already set up. Technically not necessary, but like, you know, people can come in with all sorts of things going on, and I would rather you have done some stuff to make sure that everything is fine there. And it means that you're going to be moving pitch in a better way, and we use pitch to help us with point. So, like, yeah, start off with softies. I'll explain in a minute what they are. But yeah, have a system. Try to... this is very hard to do, but try not to compare yourself to your goal. Try to compare yourself to just where you were a week ago, or something like that, you know? You're tracking improvement, you're not tracking how close you are to the goal. Just incremental improvement. That's a really good one. Make sure you're recording clips and keep them, so that like in a month's time you can look back and see how much progress you've made. There's your third thing. I guess fourth thing, get into a community. You know, you're welcome to join mine if you'd like to. Join the Discord, because then you'll have people to encourage you, and you'll be having other people learning with you. So there's my 4 tips for you. People to support you, but are also learning voice and going through the same troubles that you're going through, so that everybody can like support each other and help each other through stuff. I think that's going to be quite a big one. Also, yeah, frickin' Forget Me Not, or whoever it was. Your sub didn't go through. Yeah, Sylvie, your sub didn't go back through. I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that. Blaming this trouble on YouTube. I think it's Streamlabs. I think Streamlabs are screwing up. Audio's only doubled, I think, when I send it through. I don't think it's normally doubled. Oh, it might be actually, because it isn't normally, but it might get doubled. I don't know. Music is such a vibe. Is this all by Soul? Yeah. It's all by Soul. Okay, I'm caught up. Have you ever seen someone achieve a deeper, more mature female voice? Absolutely. I feel like you often sound too soft or childlike at times. It feels very discouraging. Okay, Skyler, you're really close to me. Okay, everybody listening right now, this is your moment. Tune the fuck into what I'm saying. I'm going to give you a brief rundown. This is just a very condensed version, but of what we do to change the gender of the voice and the basics of how it works. So first of all, okay, your voice changes because of testosterone exposure, right? estrogen does nothing to your voice. Only thing that makes it sound more masculine or feminine is levels of testosterone exposure during puberty. Okay? Child voices, so prepubescent, haven't had that testosterone exposure because they haven't started puberty yet. So there's your like zero testosterone. You then have feminized voices, or like women, okay, adult women. They will have a slight bit of testosterone exposure, so they'll have a little bit of that stuff happening. And then for the masculizers, or the AMABs, they'll have the also trans men that go through like testosterone exposure. They will have the fully testosterone affected voice. Okay, so when I say testosterone exposed or not testosterone exposed, I do mean some testosterone exposure in what would be the typical AFAB puberty. Okay. Yeah, just remember that testosterone is the only thing at play here. It's just how much testosterone is there. That's it. That's the only thing that affects voice. Also, the effects that testosterone have are permanent. So you can't, like, no amount of hormones will ever unmasculize a voice. It's all permanent. Okay. That's okay though, because every change that happens, we can reverse through behavior. All right. So first change, testosterone will thicken your vocal folds. Okay, your vocal folds are, we have like our larynx here, which is a big box of cartilage. If you have an Adam's apple, well, everybody has an Adam's apple, but that's part of the larynx. You can kind of feel this kind of tough bit here. That's all your larynx. Okay, it's just like a big box of cartilage. People call it the voice box. Your vocal folds, some people call them the voice cords, or the vocal cords. Proper name is the vocal folds. They're like two little flaps. They open and close. All right. As they do that, and as air goes through from your lungs, that applies sound. Okay. So as those vocal folds thicken, that changes how the sound is produced. It starts going from a gentler, softer kind of a sound over to a heavier, buzzier kind of a sound. All right. We typically call this in voice vocal weight. Okay. So right now I have a lighter vocal weight. Right now I have a heavier vocal weight, and a heavier vocal weight is something that comes from increased testosterone exposure. Okay. And to show you over here, this is going to be a lighter vocal weight. This is going to be a heavier vocal weight. And again, that all comes from
Millicent subscribed to the channel.
Yo, thank you again. Huge thank you for that subscription. That is super kind of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so that's vocal fold thickness. That's vocal weight. Okay. Weight is going to be your main focus on that. Can you rebalance for audio? The music is so loud. Yeah, absolutely. Let me just grab that real quick for you. Okay, let's drop that to there. How's that? Let me know if that's okay. If I need to change it, tell me again. Cool. Yeah, I think we had quieter music at the start of the stream, and it's just got a bit louder, so now it's a bit, yeah. Let me know if that's fine, if I need to move it more. Yeah, that's good? Okay, cool. Again, if we get to like some louder music or some quieter music, like just let me know it needs messing around with. Okay, so there's weight, okay? Your next major thing, and this has, in my opinion, the biggest change in terms of it sounding like a gender change, is your larynx. Remember that box of cartilage we mentioned earlier inside your vocal folds? This thing in your throat, this hard thing, okay? That descends and expands, all right? As it expands, the bit that sticks out of the larynx, it's called the laryngeal protrusion, starts pushing against the skin, and you see it as an Adam's apple. So everybody has an Adam's apple, but if you haven't been exposed to as much testosterone, it's going to be further in, so you might not see it. But it's just a part of every single human's larynx, and most animals as well. It's just basic anatomy stuff. So we have that larynx descending and expanding, all right? Now, as sound is created somewhere, we don't just hear that sound being created by the vocal folds, all right? You're not just hearing a bunch of notes from me, you're hearing words, okay? So I'm changing those bass sounds, those single tones, into words, into sentences, all of that stuff, okay? And that all happens because as a sound bounces around a cavity, a chamber, a space, it warps the sound of it, okay? It's never too late to retrain your voice. That is 100% the case. I started at 26, I think. I don't even remember. But what I mean by this sound, bounce from a chamber, okay? Here's my ukulele. I'm gonna make a sound. So this is like your vocal folds making a sound. It bounces around the chamber and eventually comes through out of this sound hole. That's like your mouth as it comes out, okay? This is what happens. Whoa! If I change it, and the only way I change it is we just go bigger, okay? That's roughly the same note, because they're both made of wood and they're both being tapped on by my nail. But it's way bigger, and you can hear that change in the sound, okay? We have that bigger sound. The exact same thing is what happens to your larynx during puberty, okay? Or during testosterone-heavy puberty, okay? As your larynx descends and enlarges, it sounds more like this, where we have this large larynx sound. Does that make sense? Okay? So there's going to be our two core things of our larger larynx, our larger size, okay? And our heavier weight, bring this to a more masculine voice, okay? Obviously I've done that somewhat to extreme there to help it bring a point across. Realistically, you'd be aiming more like this, so my larynx being lowered is bringing me over to here, and then the increase in weight and bring me over to here, okay? And so if you're masculizing, that's what you gotta do. If you're feminizing, you just do reverse. You remove some of that weight, so you sound over here, and you raise your larynx back up. Yeah, so in terms of undoing this, you can just change that sound. So your larynx will end up going back up to change your sound. Your vocal folds will vibrate in a different way to change that sound. And that's going to get you that voice that you're looking for. Obviously, I've rushed through that to make sure that we have time to go through it, because normally that takes like 3 hours to get through. But that's the basics of it. The only other change that happens is your vocal folds lengthen, which lowers the pitch. Now, yes, that's a thing, and it lowers it by about an octave. However, it doesn't actually impact the gender presentation of your voice, in that just most people won't hear it having a change to like the gendering. If you have a higher pitched masculine voice, it just sounds like a higher pitched masculine voice. If you have a lower pitched feminine voice, it just sounds like a lower pitched feminine voice. So you don't need to worry about pitch a lot. I think the main reasoning for that, there's not really any research on it, but the main reasoning, my hypothesis at least, is as I've changed my size, that's now staying consistent. I'm not moving around like here and stuff, I'm doing all of that. I'm just staying the same consistent size. Again, my weight is staying the same. I'm not moving around here and then over here and then moving over here and then over here. It's just staying the same. But my pitch is moving up and down all the time. Listen to what I'm saying. My da 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 da. My pitch is moving all over the place. So that's my hypothesis of why we don't have a super big intuitive gendering of or attachment of pitch to gender presentation of voice, just because it's a very dynamic thing, and there's already things that are totally static, which you'd be more likely to sink your teeth into. So I think that's why we just don't gender pitch, because it's the one thing that moves all the time. Okay, that's the basics. All right. Thank you.
GP Giblet subscribed to the channel.
Yo, GP Giblet, thank you so much. All right, I'll go back through chat again, catch myself back up, and then I'll go through how we change some of those things, just the basic drills to get you started. Okay. Oh, and I'm not super far behind as well. That's really cool. Okay. You're gender spicy. That's pretty cool. In a different direction, but you're AFAB. And as a child. Oh, wait. Before I go for your thing, sorry. Somebody else asked. Yes, Skylar, your question about sounding. You wanted to sound deeper, more mature. You feel like you sound too soft or childlike. So remember what I was just talking about of the process of voice changing at puberty. Okay, if you're sounding more childlike, then you reversed all of the sound of your testosterone exposure to the point where you've gone past even a cis woman having been exposed to puberty. You've entered into pre-puberty. Okay, all you need to do is just scale back some of what you've done. Okay, just start scaling it back. You'll start sounding more mature. If you're specifically wanting to sound like more than just like a 20-year-old, moving close to like 30 or 40, people's voices tend to get a little bit more hollow So that would be having a slightly larger size compared to your lightweight. Again, you're not trying to go for a large, just larger than you currently are. I would guess that would put you to where you're trying to get to. Depending on exactly what you mean by mature. If you're going for like 20s, then have your size roughly in proportion with your weight. If you're going for like 40s, start to have them slightly less in proportion, where you are lighter than you are small. Okay? And if we're using resonance terms, lighter than we are bright, or whatever with resonance terms. Again, if I say resonance, if I say size, if I say larynx height, they're all the same thing. Because like I said, it's your larynx descending, and then we raise it back up behaviorally, which is producing a smaller size, literally. The sound kind of sounds smaller, and resonance is just because I talked about the sound bouncing around a chamber and taking on the shape of that chamber. The sound is resonating, okay? The chamber is a resonator, okay? So resonator, resonance, this is where that terminology comes from. It does not matter what terms you use. It really, really doesn't. So long as you're talking about the same, like the correct sound, you can call it wimbo wambo, I don't care. So long as the sound you're changing is the right sound. That's the important bit. Okay, Rura Scarlet. You're gender spicy in a different direction, but you're AFAB. And as a child, you could pass for a young boy and reach notes in the C6 sharps easily. But you're 25 and you can do neither now. Yeah, practice. AFAB. Okay, yeah. It's just gonna put with practice. Again, pitch isn't a super big thing, but you're gonna just need to practice with your M2. C6 sharps are very high, but it is just gonna be practice expanding your falsetto, your M2, up to those higher ranges. Play around with M3 stuff, whistle register. That might help you a little bit as well. Yeah, play with that. Trans rights, hells yeah, trans rights. Thank you for saying it. Hope it's not too late for you to retrain your voice yet. Like we were saying, it's never too late. It's the same changes regardless. So by definition, it can't be too late. Yeah, 100%. Okay, I desperately need the toilet. Do not go anywhere. Okay, we have the most viewers we've ever had. Please don't go anywhere. I will be like 20 seconds. I just need to go to the toilet real quick. And I'll be right back, okay? So see you in just literally like 20 seconds, okay? I'll be right back, don't go anywhere. That's not me.
Страшена любов и розум, тело не покинул. Пойду с принцессами домой, шляхами светлых господин.
Hello. Okie dokie. Alright. Yeah, definitely never too late. Oh, you have patients at work who started in their 60s? That's fucking cool as fuck. Yeah, it really, one of my students is in her 40s and we're just about finishing. She's probably got 1 or 2 lessons left. It's super, like, it's not, age is like almost irrelevant. Because there's nothing that happens in aging that would like make a difference, really. Yeah. Hello, Shirigaba. With your hobbies, if you use a deeper range a lot, you'd like to be able to... Oh, where has that gone? You'd like to be able to switch back quickly, and your voice tends to get stuck very low. So just practice, Crimson. Practice going back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. Make sure that you understand what you're doing. Like, don't just... When you say a deeper range, are you talking a pitch thing? Are you talking a size thing? Get good at those things as independent things if it is more than just pitch, so that you can have an easier time moving back and forth. And then yeah, it's just practice. You know, I can do this and I can easily switch over to this just because I've had plenty of practice at doing so. and because I've got just plenty of practice with voice. So just keep practicing. You'll absolutely get there with that eventually. It's literally just a practice thing. That. Hello, stop and start. How much impact does height and overall size actually have on voice? Literally 0. Okay. Remember what I told you earlier? The entirety of voice is, okay? Here's like a basic model, okay? We're going to talk about the, you know what? I'm going to grab my workshop real quick. Let me just grab that so I can use it as like some visual stuff to like show you some of this. Okay, this is the workshop that I normally do every Saturday, 7 o'clock BST. So swing by if you want the full workshop. But we'll just skip through some of the basic stuff. And I'm going to need to get chat over on my side. Where's chat? There's chat. I'm going to have to take you away so I can flick through this because it's obviously full screen. But before I do that, let me just really quick see if I can fix chat because I think I can. I just need to remember how super quick. Yeah, I can definitely fix this. Hang on. Let me... okay, if I send through an emulation... can I not emulate chat? I just need this to like restart itself or something. Because chat has like crashed. Chat on screen. What if I tried this? This might fix it. Okay, let's try to fix this super quickly. I think I can. I'm sure I can. Okay, chat. There you are. Chat. Okay, let's just like replace you. Does that do anything? No, it doesn't do anything. What if I just like remove it and add it again? Browser, add existing. Give me my chat. Wait, why is chat not even there? Okay, I guess create new for some reason. Chat. Okay. Bring it in. Bring it to the front. Send to. Order. Move to top. Okay, here we go. We have a chat. Is this now where it should be? Or is it still super behind? Let's go over there. Let's expand it a bit. I think that's... Yes. Okay, we have chat working now. So let's pop this over here. We're going to be a little bit messy, but hopefully it'll do us for this today. Okay, that's roughly right. Okay, I know that's a bit messy. I know that's not in the box properly, but it'll do for now. Okay, so yeah, going back to what I was just talking about. And now you guys can see your chat properly. What was I just talking about? I completely lost it. Oh, yes. Does height overall... Okay, yeah. All right, let me flick through this real quick. Okay, here's how voice works, okay? I want you to think of voice as a power source filter model, all right? It's just a simplified model that really well puts voice. It's not even made for, like, trans voice, but it just happens to fit in really fucking well. So first of all, you have the power, or like the energy to the voice, okay? That's the air coming from your lungs. Super simple. That air travels up from your lungs into your larynx, okay? Again, that's that box of cartilage here. If I move close to the camera, box of cartilage right here. You can kind of feel the top a bit, okay? The Adam's apple is a part of it. So air comes through into your larynx, and the bottom of your larynx are your vocal folds, okay? As the air passes through your vocal folds, they vibrate. You can kind of see it in that GIF there. They vibrate, which turns that air into sound, okay? So now you have sound bouncing around, all right? As that sound bounces around, the rest of your vocal tract, so past the larynx, into the pharynx, into your oral cavity, into your nasal cavity, bounces around all of those until eventually it leaves your mouth, okay? All of that bouncing around changes this bass sound and warps it to be words, to be whatever, all the different features, okay? So again, I used earlier, here's a sound being created on my ukulele. And if I just change the filter, okay, and the only way I change the filter is making it larger, we get that darker sound, or that larger sound, Okay? But it's not just larger and smaller. Like, it's all of, as I'm talking, the reason you hear words and not just like a bunch of random notes is because of my tongue, my mouth, all of that stuff filtering the sound, okay? The main thing we are focused on is obviously the larynx, because that's the thing that was affected by testosterone, and because like all of word formation happens over here, so we want to do stuff before this so that we have our sound changing gender presentation without changing the words you say. Like, I don't want to limit the words you're able to use just to make it sound more feminine. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't be needed. Yeah, okay. Any questions about that? Hopefully that makes reasonable sense. Okay, going back through chat because nice speed, Pete. Lamau. Yeah, well, we have a crazy stream right now, so I had to be quick. Make sure you don't all leave. Okay, all right. I'm going back through chat. Wow, you guys went crazy while I was giving that explanation. Yes, so that's why height and overall size have no effect. They're not part of that model. The sound doesn't even start until like here-ish. That's about where your vocal folds are. So it couldn't. Hopefully you can now understand Lily Murphy why they couldn't affect the sound. Highest you've ever gone is early 5th octave. That's kind of crazy. Oh wait, no. Highest you've ever gone is early 5th octave. No, you could. Lismara, you can definitely get higher than that. We just need to keep practicing at M2. You're gonna get that, no problem. Love the Madeline profile picture. Currently dying of heat. Is that Madeline? My profile picture? I don't know about Madeline, but oh wait, you guys can see each other's profile pictures, can't you? Yeah, I can't see that on my chat bot. I understand now. You're on about Lismara. I almost spilled my coffee is somebody's name, and now it's an incredible name. Your girlfriend hates you for being feminine after tolerating it for years. Hoping you'll grow out of that phase. You're not that weird. You're not the weird kind. Just more on the liking to be cute. Kinda. I'm sorry, it sounds off. No. Okay. If you're like trans and that's like trans female and that's like a thing right now and that's what's happening, everybody goes through that. Like, we literally call it the baby trans phase of like going super hyper feminine. You'll grow out of it essentially. You know, you're getting to explore these things that you weren't able to explore before, so like, you know, it makes a lot of sense. Everybody goes through it, so, and everybody comes out of it. Enjoy what you're enjoying. Eventually you'll probably want to have something more mature, more fitting to your age, and you'll move on to that when you're ready to do so. Sometimes you think like stretching your neck out like the first few frame of a giraffe Animorph book cover to try to tighten your vocal folds plus long slender neck. Nah, don't do anything like that. Okay, only way I want you changing the sound of your voice is by changing the sound. Don't try to fuck with your body. Your body knows how to control itself. You don't need to mess with that. Just go with, so if you're moving pitch higher, move pitch higher. Go like, ah. Just focus on the sound. If you're trying to change size, focus on the sound. All of these things, focus on the sound. Once I've caught up with chat, I will go over some drills to change the stuff we were just talking about. Okay? Okay, appreciate the help the other night in Trans UK Discord. Yeah, you're super welcome. You're working on brainworms and trying to find a goal to aim for. Yeah, hi Samantha, by the way. Yeah, you're super, that's totally fine. Always happy to help. Sarah, how do I say that? Sarah Mandel. I'm afraid I only speak English. I'll have to say that stick to English, mainly for my moderation purposes, because like I can't moderate a language I don't understand. Really sorry, but re-ask your question in English and I'll be happy to help you. You're talking E1 at the lowest? E1's pretty low. That's pretty low. Again, though, pitch, you need to all have this in your brain. Pitch has so little to do with voice. To do with the gendering of a voice. Like, pitch is like almost irrelevant. Do not worry about pitch. Like, seriously, do not worry about pitch. How bad is cigarette smoking for voice training? I imagine you probably already know the answer. That's why you're asking it, because you want to hear a different answer. As a smoker, you can change the gender presentation of your voice. You can voice train as a smoker, but it will make it harder. There's no getting around that. It's going to make it more difficult. If you can switch to vaping, that will help. It won't. It's still not It's still causing an issue, but it's better than smoking. You can reach your goals as a smoker, but the more you smoke, the harder it's going to be. So just weigh that, and it's a decision for you to make, I suppose. Chat might be from previous stream. No way. Is it actually? I really hope it is. It's actually too small for me to even read it. No, it's not. It's just a little bit behind, I think. I don't know why this stream on its chat is so fucked. That's a one-bit thing that has never broken ever, so I don't know why that's fucked. You have a serious question, a serious but potentially ignorant question. That's completely fine. In the Rocky Horror Picture Show, they use the term transsexual. I've lost your question. Is there a difference between transgender and transsexual? Is that a bad word? Yeah, as Friend said, it's just dated. Most people stopped using... Transsexual went out of fashion because a lot of people that are more on the right, more on the conservative end, and people that were just a bit more ignorant were thinking that it was a sexuality, which is not. Because obviously in other sexualities, with actual sexualities, we say like homosexual or bisexual or heterosexual. So when people were saying transsexual, there was this idea that it was a sexuality, which just isn't. So that's why it stopped being used and why transgender started being used. Personally, my controversial opinion as someone who is trans, transgender doesn't really work as a term. I actually think transsexual was a better term. Just in the context of the rest of our language, it doesn't work. Because it's not my gender that's changed. I'm trying to change the presentation of my sex to align with my gender. My gender is consistent. That's like the thing that if we were trying to change my gender, we'd be trying to like make me live in the body I had before. But it's what we've settled on. So that's so transgender is just kind of what's up at the moment. I imagine eventually we'll move on to something different. I don't know what that would be though. Something that refers to like the change being one of your body, essentially. Trying to bring the body in line with the mind or whatever. Yeah. Not too... that's an entirely acceptable question to ask. That's completely fine. Don't worry about it. Why would you care about your voice sound if you're destroying your lungs altogether? Oh, yeah, for a smoker. Yeah, no, it's valid. I mean, smoking's an addiction, and we should treat it as such. I would obviously encourage you to try and quit, if no other reason for, like, not getting cancer. But, like, I get it. Emanon, it is now kind of dated as bad. I think people would generally not like it. But yeah, in my opinion, it was a fine term, but in the context of how we use other words with a similar structure, it ends up not really working. So like, yeah. I think most people... if you speak to a younger trans person, they're probably really not going to like transsexual. If you speak to an older trans person who remembers the term being in use, they're probably not going to care. But might be a bit like, whoa, you're using like the old term. But most won't care. And if you go for like older trans people, a lot of them do still say transsexual. Like I hear Book Angel say transsexual, and that's just his like terminology. So like, yeah, it's not the end of the world. But like Zoomers will probably freak out, as Zoomers have a tendency to do. But yeah, even if you're talking to someone like their late 20s, decent chance they're not going to care if you say transsexual. Mainly depends on when they started transition, really, or when they like started engaging with trans stuff. Yeah. Boo. Oh yeah, check out that YouTube video that friends put in, the Gentle Troublemakers. Cool. Catching up. Sarah Mandel, I do need to insist that you switch to English because I can't moderate what you're saying right now. Yo!
Scaling Cypher subscribed to the channel.
Yo, thank you for the subscription. And also, why is the bottom of your thing being cut out? And why wouldn't it even let me change it? Hold the phone. What the hell? Why is nothing working? If I just... Okay, we're going to do this. and then we're going to do this, and hopefully that's going to make that be more normal, and I will fix that up properly later. Okay, I might have just completely fucked up the subscription thing, so it'll look all weird, but hopefully I've made it better. Who knows? It's just streamer things. It is annoying that everything is breaking today, of all days. Cool. Oh yeah, yeah, Sarah Mandel, if you could please like switch to English, not because like I have an issue with your language or anything, just because like I can't moderate it if I don't know what you're saying. Yeah. You just found us randomly? Yo, Lucky, thank you for coming. We're having so many people today, it's absolutely nuts. Where is this country and why are all the girls so cute? Which country? I'm from the UK, if that's what you're asking. If you're calling me cute, then you need to see more women. Yo, your name is green? Yay, awesome. I don't see the colours of your names, I'm afraid. Everybody is orange to me. Yeah, Emanon, like, it's completely fine for you to ask those questions, so I really wouldn't be worried. As a general, stick to transgender. That's what is used most often now. You'll never go wrong with that. Nobody's going to have an issue with you saying that. Or just shorten it to trans, and like, it's an easy way. Doing it for any trans person, but they can use it for themselves. Yeah, I guess don't call someone like a transgender. Call them like, just probably by their name. But you can say like, this person is transgender. That's like, just the grammatical use of that term. Cool. Excuse me, Miss / Mr. Trans Workshop. What are your credentials? Hi, Miss is what you're looking for, but thank you for checking. So my name's Zara. I am a trans voice teacher. If you're looking for MD stuff, like I'm not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare provider, so I don't have that kind of a thing. Most teachers won't have like a piece of paper they can show you, unfortunately, because it simply doesn't exist. There isn't like an exam you can take or a qualification you can get as a trans voice teacher. It just doesn't exist, unfortunately. I've searched high and low. It doesn't exist, which sucks. I would like it to exist, but that's where we are right now. If you're looking for like evidence of my work, then you can speak to any of the people in my Discord, because a lot of them have had lessons with me. Check out my workshops where you can just see my work. Yeah, I would say that's your best approach. And obviously ask any questions that you have. Yeah. Trans Network, hey, that's me. Sarah Mendel is asking how to make the voice sound like a man for their job. Oh, okay, Mihugi, thank you so much. Okay, yeah, Sarah Mandel, sorry. Yeah, definitely need to stick to English, because otherwise I just cannot moderate. It's just for moderation purposes. If you're looking for masculization, like we were talking about earlier, you're looking for that larger size, okay, that larynx coming down, and about heavier weight. So that's going to sound like a larger size coming from this, and then a heavier weight coming in from that buzziness. Yeah. If you're looking for drills for that, you know what, let's go over a couple of drills real quick, okay? If you're waiting for a question in chat, I'm so sorry, it's about to be delayed. I will catch up to chat as fast as I can. Okay, so, for everybody, if you are looking to change your weight, no, your size, we'll start with size, okay? If you're looking to change your size, which will have the most dramatic change, okay? We're going to start off with a whispered exercise. The reason we're starting with a whispered exercise is because when you whisper, your vocal folds, remember the source of sound where pitch comes into it, they stay open. That's what a whisper is. Your vocal folds stay open. By staying open, they're not producing pitch. So we have technically not a pitchless exercise, but your true vocal folds aren't creating pitch. So your normal pitch system is like deactivated, okay? Which means when we do stuff, you know that the sound change is happening, even if it seems like pitch, it's actually not. It's size, okay? So if I go from, I'll start with the word paw, I'll explain that in a minute. If I go from like a and start just bringing back what seems like down, none of that's a pitch change. All of that is size, okay? To really show you that, I'll enter sound again with the same pitch, okay? pa, 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 pa. Pa, 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 pa. All the same pitch, okay? So size is your big one there, all right? If you're feminizing, we're just going the other way, okay? For masculizers, use the word paw, is like a cat's paw. For feminizers, use the word cheese, because there's another thing that can get smaller and larger, and saying paw will make it larger, saying cheese will make it smaller. You don't need to worry about too much. Cool, okay. For feminizers, same thing in reverse, but with cheese, okay? And then go into some sound. Cheese. And then, yeah, that's your drill, okay? From there, you just try to carry that sound into the talk, okay? Cheese, cheese, cheese. And then you continue talking, trying to continue that sound. And then you try to continue that sound. Okay, chat seems to be going a little crazy. I'm just gonna check what's happening. Let me just check what's happening right now. Noah, this is changing the gender presentation of your voice, so going for like a more masculine or a more androgynous or a more feminine voice. And this is just I teach that and ask me questions. My full workshops are every Saturday, but yeah. Noah isn't necessarily hating, but yeah. Oh, wait, okay, hold on. Gomba? What the fuck? Stream isn't about getting high, it's about delusion, but still not a reason to make fun of it. Okay, immediately. Goodbye, Gomba. You had like some normal questions earlier. Jesus fuck. Why are you being such a freak? You're the one who clicked here, buddy. Wow. That is nuts, but okay. That's gonna happen when we have this many viewers. Noah, you were totally fine, Dory. Wow, yeah, okay. We're gonna need some mods at some point. Jesus. Again, if you're new here, I usually have like 5 viewers. Okay, so yeah, that's why I might not always be on top of moderation. We don't normally even need mods. Jesus fuck. Okay, I'm so sorry I didn't ban them sooner. Wait, no, are you being crazy? Transphobic is a dumb word for aversion towards trans. Phobia does mean fear by definition. If you're just going for like, it should just be like hatred towards trans, like, sure. I could get that. Does Gomba's stuff not all get fucking wiped for chat when I ban them? Hello? No, it doesn't. That's so annoying. I'll tell you what. Any of my OGs here, like Lismara or Mihuggy, any of you people, do you feel confident being a mod? I will like quickly mod one of you guys if we need that. Oh, it wiped it for you. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, just to check any of my like OGs. Any of you down to be made a mod super quick? Just because clearly we need that. I'll give you a second to figure that out. Why was this recommended to you? Probably because you're interested in changing your voice. But I'm keeping an eye on you because that's sounding like what kind of thing we got going on there? Sure, Mihuggy? Okay, Mihuggy, I will make you a mod real quick. Boop. Okay, you are our mod now. Cool, sick. And Lismara. Okay, we have our 2 mods. Perfect. Thank you guys for being there. Sick. Okay, alright. What was I just talking about? Oh, yes. Okay, so if you're looking to make those size changes, there's what you want to go for, okay? Use those whispers to take that sound change into your voice, okay? Hopefully that's super, super clear. Obviously, ask any questions on that if it didn't quite make sense. Or hell the mods, hells yeah. Yeah, just going for people that are like already part of my community and long-time viewers, because like I already know them. Okay, going to the weight stuff that I talked about earlier. If you're trying to get that buzzier sound, weight has like a connection to pitch, okay? So as we move up in pitch, our weight is going to, is generally going to lighten, okay, intuitively. So we're going to take advantage of that to get an initial change. So if you're starting from a heavier kind of a voice and you're trying to get lighter, we're going to move up in pitch. ah, or like oh. Sorry. Oh. Once you get to that point, hold that lightness, keep a hold of it, and bring yourself back down in pitch again. So if your end result isn't a pitch change, it's just a weight change, okay? And then try to take that sound change into your voice as you do some talking. Okay? So for the feminizers, you bring those two things together, and that's gonna get you to a feminized voice. You do your cheeses, you do your pitch hill, you got a fem voice. Obviously, it takes a lot of practice there. And things can go wrong along the way. If that happens to you, ask me questions. Or, you know, lessons are a thing too. For your masculizers, we're going the opposite way, okay? So we're going to start moving our pitch down, okay? And where you heard my voice just go weird there, we call that the grave extension, okay? The grave extension is basically a bunch of buzzy, heavy weight and a bunch of vocal fry. Don't worry about it. Point is, find that buzzy sound, okay? Bring it back up in pitch to where you were before. So all the change you've made is getting heavier, okay? And now you have that heavier voice in your, that heavier sound in your voice. You then talk like that for a bit and try to maintain it. And then from there, you do your pause where you're going for that larger paw, and you'll have a masculine voice. And that's the basics of it.
Legacy Irene subscribed to the channel.
Yo, thank you so much for the subscription. Holy shit, we have this now. Why the fuck am I still learning maths? True.
Avogadro 6022 subscribed to the channel.
Yo, thank you for the subscriptions, guys. I super appreciate that. Yo!
Ragnarok subscribed to the channel.
Yo, Ragnarok as well. Thank you so much. A little wave of subscriptions. Okay, Sarah Mandel, you switched to English earlier. I need you to stay in English. Okay? It's really important because otherwise we can't moderate you. It's super, super important, okay? Like that is a necessary thing. I will have to like do something if you don't switch to English. Okay, there's the basics. So for people that are asking like how do we do this stuff, those are your exercises. Use those exercises to make the changes that I'm talking about. Obviously, if you go to one of the workshops or like rewatch one of the VODs, you'll see it in the live section on the channel. I go way more into DSL with that stuff. Okay. All right, I'm going to scroll through chat and look for questions that I have missed. There is a whole bunch because chat has gone really quick, sped up really quickly. So I'll just be searching for questions and skipping over stuff that isn't that, just to make sure everybody gets their questions answered. If your question has been missed, like once I've gotten down significantly, just re-ask it. That's totally fine. What's this music? This is one of our community members called Soul Strings. If you look up Soul Strings on YouTube, they also go by Stream Explorer S. This is their music. They're a really, really talented musician. So yeah, check out her stuff. Okay, that's where we were. Wow, that is a lot of scrolling. Voice training is good for a lot of things. Voice acting, being trans, D&D voices. Yeah, you can use this for all sorts of stuff. It's a really cool thing. Okay, you're expecting to stay here, but it is a chill little thing. Hope you'll have fun. Yo, Lucky, thank you for coming earlier. You're probably already gone by now, but hey. Hi, I'm a girl, but my voice is somewhat deep and masculine. You're able to force it, but you end up being very soft-spoken. Is there a way you can project your voice better and heighten it? Sorry, I know I'm cis. That's totally fine. You can be cis. It's fine. Yeah, so it depends on what you're doing exactly. If you are like, if you're going all the way up into here and you're kind of talking like this, well, what's happening here is you're entering into your like falsetto, your M2. Some people call this head voice. We want to avoid that happening. So first of all, identify, is it actually pitch that you're trying to change, or is it size? Okay, just play around with both of those to figure out which one it is. Okay, again, that's those cheese whispers. If it's pitch, just up your pitch. If it's size, reduce your size. Neither of those should require a significant volume change. If it does, I would be curious as to what exactly your voice sounds like. Maybe if you want to join the Discord and send a clip, I'd be happy to go through it properly. My suspicion would be that you're going into that like head voice. M2 is a proper name. Like we're going all the way over to here. I don't want you going all the way to over here. If you're trying to up your pitch, just like
Odd me subscribed to the channel.
Yo, thank you so much for subscribing. That's fucking sick of you. Thank you so much. Add another one.
Not So Yummers subscribed to the channel.
There, check it over. Yo, Not So Yummers, thank you as well, so much. Thank you all for being here. This is the most viewers I've ever had by a huge amount. So thank you so much for all being here. That's so fucking awesome that you're here. Boo. Cow nuts? Is that a... Woo? Yeah, Gomba got banned, so that's already dealt with. I am keeping an eye on you, cow nuts. Just be aware of that. You didn't see my face because GPS directions? Yeah, it's fine, don't worry. Oh, you love my hair. Thank you so much. I mean, this is a bad hair day, okay? Look at previous ones. I look very nice. This is very much a bad hair day. You know English pretty well, but have a thick accent. Do you have any tips on improving your accent to be more confident? Yeah, so a lot of that is going to be a practice thing. Like, a lot of that is going to be a practice thing. And using your English a lot. Part of it is also going to be, and I'm not a language teacher, so this is going to be, there's a limit to how much I can give you advice on this, but generally you want to be moving towards, look at IPA, okay, International Phonetic Alphabet, and look at how the words are structured in terms of IPA. Usually when people have this big accent issue, it's usually vowels that are being pronounced as a different vowel. So like, for example, and are different vowels, okay? But if you're familiar with a language that doesn't really use but uses a lot of you might be using one instead of the other, okay? Or vice versa. So look at how the word is actually meant to be structured. Look at its spelling in IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet, and like look up an IPA chart to help you figure out exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced. That's the most common thing I find. Yeah. Change your gender expression, not your gender. Usually gender is also changes. Yeah. This is why I think transgender is a bit of a silly term, because we don't change the gender, we change your gender expression or presentation. So yeah. Whoa, what is based off hateful bias against trans people? Okay, dimming delusion is hateful in and of itself. Okay, Cownuts, you are no longer on the watch list. That is okay, good job. Boo. For some people, not more I swear, it was an excuse to have a rough voice as a woman. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, slowly getting caught up. Boo. This is just you guys having a little argument with that Goma person. Or Gomba, whatever the fucking name was. You have switched to the Queen's English. Perfect. Hast thou not read the message of the Lord inscribed on the tablets of the Ten Commandments? I did not see the other message that you sent, if that's what you're saying. But thank you, Sarah Mendel. Boo. Okay, slowly catching up. Okay, just some nonsense with that fucking Gumbar retard. The phobia bit is basically with the idea that like the deep-rooted thing is like a fear thing, because otherwise why would they give a fuck? What do you think of Phoenicia? I don't know what that is. You know, in transport. Hi, hey, glad to have you here. Okay, slowly catching up. How do you talk louder without having a high-pitched voice? What do you mean? Just talk louder, like I have with this. Right now my voice isn't a higher pitch, it's just louder. If you want to practice that, imagine you are at a car park, okay? You're at a car park, sorry, you're picking your friend up from the supermarket, okay? You've just pulled up at the car park. Neither of you have your phones on you, though. You've been very silly, okay? So you're just going to have to shout and get their attention. Hey, friend, friendo, I'm over here. Hey, friend, okay? Have a little practice with that little roleplay thing. That'll help you to increase your loudness without changing the things. And like, watch that you're not changing the things, okay? Practice specifically getting louder in a little roleplay like that while not letting those other things change, okay? Okay, slowly getting caught up. I'm onto the moderator conversation. For Transmask, is there a way to voice train to speak in a pitch lower than previously possible? Or is it impossible to make your vocal range deeper? No, you can absolutely make it deeper. Again, though, it's probably not pitch you are after. It's probably a larger size. So the size stuff I was just talking about, that's what you're needing. Yeah, everybody's talking about the music. Soul Strings on YouTube, that's who you're looking for. Yeah, that's who you're looking for. Not taking song requests just because this is music that we have been specifically given permission for. I don't want to run into copyright issues. Okay, slowly getting caught up. But to answer your question, like, yes, for masculizers, all of these things you can expand your range on. Basically everything you can expand your range on. By a lot more than you think as well. Like, you can do it a lot. Do you want any of the mods to speak Swiss German? Keep all the chat in English. Just because it's going to be so much easier. But yeah, I only speak English, I'm afraid. I don't know about the other mods, I've just made them mods. The letter R is American as fuck. Yeah, so kind of. R is said in American, they have a more rhotic R, so it becomes an R. But in other languages, like or in other cultures, like in English, we just say R. We just have like a start bit, okay? If we extend it into an R, we add that rhoticity to it, then it becomes more American sounding. Lemma, your stream got surprise boosters in the algorithm. It super did. Again, I think the highest we've had is like 6 viewers or something, or maybe 7 viewers in one of our normal streams. The highest we've had today is 60. Oh no, 62. So my highest viewed video, which was like, and it's fucking a popping, did amazingly with the algorithm one, has like 300 and something views. We're currently on 1,105 views. And this is just an ordinary stream. This isn't a special one. That was a workshop. So like, yeah, algorithm has done a fucking algorithm thing. Holy shit. Again, for all the new people here, first of all, hi. Thank you so much for coming. My name's Zara. I teach gender affirming voice. I teach trans voice, as the title suggests. So whether you're masculizing, feminizing, or androgynizing, that's the shit I teach, okay? Main place to go for all my stuff is both checking out the YouTube channel. All of the stuff is just live stuff for my live streams. I do plan to make YouTube videos in the future. I'm getting there. It's a big task. The main thing, the main resource that you want to be using is my Discord, okay? You can check it out in the description. The Discord is where everything happens. If you're attending one of the workshops, you actually get to be in the workshop, in the VC. And then from there, you get to say, you get to have like one-on-one feedback on your voice and stuff like that. If you're after lessons yourself, then my lessons are through the YouTube, through the Discord. I charge £20 for private lessons, or public lessons, which are live streamed lessons, are free. Just before this stream, we had to like restart the stream, and suddenly you guys all arrived. We just had a lesson with Lismara, who is one of our mods now. And she didn't pay, or I guess they didn't pay anything for that lesson, because it was a public lesson. So, hells yeah. Okay, sick. Oh, and I see Lismara doing moderation things. Yo, thank you. I can relax. Why did you feel the need to say trans voice teacher? Couldn't you just say voice teacher? Because I specifically teach voice gender stuff, okay? So I'm not a singing teacher, is the important distinction there. I can help you sound more masculine, I can help you sound more feminine. I'm not a singing teacher. It's not what I specialize in. It wouldn't be good value for money for you. frankly. So that's why I don't offer those lessons. My specialism is in changing the gender presentation of your voice. Yeah. You can't speak loudly when trying a femme voice. No one can hear you. When you speak loud enough, your voice goes back to mask voice. You just no longer talk in public. So first of all, really try to... I know a lot of trans people will just kind of stop using their voice. And I get it, because like it's rough out there. But at the same time, you really, really do want to be using your voice, because otherwise it will weaken your voice. The muscles will atrophy, and you'll start literally losing your voice. You must still use it. Past there for the rest of your question. If you making your voice more feminine is also making it quieter, then that weight stuff that I was on about before, you have a conflation there. You're muddling up weight with loudness. Okay. So make sure we're getting that soft gentleness without losing the loudness, okay? Go back to that car park thing I was just talking about. That'll help you, okay? Use that exercise paired with your weight exercise or your size exercise, whatever it is you've been doing, to try and bring that volume back in as you do the modifications that you're doing, okay? Cool. Relax in the chat a little bit. The person that was asking why do I call it trans voice might just genuinely not know, or why I call myself a trans voice teacher. Might not know that I only teach trans voice. It's fine. Yeah, youthful politics. Like not necessarily needing to be a fight. Don't worry. Boo. Yeah, it's not necessarily hating on trans. Wait for something a bit crazier before going in on that. Yeah, they're not necessarily a rage baiter. You guys need to chill a little bit, okay? You just don't think they needed to say they are trans? Okay, no, never mind. I'm wrong. Youthful politics, what are you talking about? You don't need to say that they are trans. Oh! No, I understand. Wait. When I say I'm a trans voice teacher, I'm not trying to tell you that I'm trans. I'm telling you that I teach trans voice. That's the mix-up. I am trans, but that is not related to why I call myself a trans voice teacher. I know what you're saying now. I'm expressing that the subject is trans voice, and that's what I teach. Just because I see pitch being mentioned a few times, reminder to everybody, the pitch is not almost completely, it's so irrelevant to gender modification that it's just, don't worry about pitch, okay? Pitch is not the thing. I promise you it's not. You do not need to worry about your pitch at all. Don't worry about your hertz. None of that's relevant. Focus on your weight, focus on your size. That's like what it's all about, okay? Pitch is maybe like 1%, if that. Really, like, not at all. To like super draw that in, like, here's my voice. I'm hopefully sounding reasonably feminine to you guys. This is, that's what's going on there. And now I'm mixing to a masculine voice. And you can hear how my pitch hasn't changed at all. I'm at the exact same pitch I was. I've even just continued the pitch pattern that I was already using. Literally nothing in my pitch has changed as I then switch back to feminine. And yeah, it's not, pitch is not the thing. You really don't need to worry about it. Noah, stick to English, please. Boo. Okie dokie. Not gonna lie, you had a millisecond of thinking it would be like how to do Donald Duck impressions, but the second you saw PowerPoint, you understood it's fellow thieves. It's help fellow thieves. Yeah. It's all about changing the gender presentation. You do make weird sounds.
Like, I'm gonna have you making a weird sound like this. This isn't really what anybody sounds like.
Well, it's one of the steps. It's like an in-between. Just a quick question. How can I be as cute as you? Well, thank you so much, Dago. Estrogen. I mean, like, maybe look at some other women. You might find some much cuter, but whatever. I am not in my most attractive state right now, but whatever. Bad hair day, I haven't even got makeup on. I don't have time. Hello, lovelies. Just found the channel. You're trying to support your girlfriend. That's super lovely of you. She had a very strong reflux issue and her cords got damaged. Is there something you can do to help her? Yeah, okay, that's a bigger issue. I would say, I assume you've spoken to a doctor about that. It depends on what sort of damage we're talking here. Like how long has this been happening untreated? I'd need some more information there because we're getting closer to that medical line, which is closer to where I would be backing off, and that would be more of a job for your doctor. Generally, we're talking. So for everybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about there, or what Admi is talking about there, some people have GERD, gastrointestinal reflux disorder. Basically, stomach acids rising up all the way up, through the esophagus, past the pharynx and hitting the vocal tract. That stomach acid does what you would expect from stomach acid. It causes some damage, basically starts dissolving stuff and causing irritation, which can cause damage. Just takes time for that to, it takes time for that to do significant damage, so it depends on what you're talking about. And that's something you need to speak to a doctor about. Boo, certainly time to place debate. Yeah, I agree. Just careful, you guys are very ready to fight with people, and that's not necessarily always the case. Trans voice teacher can mean multiple things. Yeah, exactly. The context, and I could totally see how somebody could misunderstand as like me just for some reason saying that I'm trans and also I'm a voice teacher, whereas like what I'm saying is no, the subject matter is trans voice, and that's what I teach. And I've got a hair in my eye. Okay. You're from the Creation Embassy. That's freaking cool. Please alert to all British people. Your country depends on us being terrorists. Please visit our GDP is 5 year entity figure you inherited from your grandfather. That's hilarious. Yeah, go visit Croatia because Sarah Mendel needs the tourism boost. Lots of love and support to everyone. Yo, hells yeah, Octavia. I think, okay, let me just, I know I'm behind in chat and I'm trying to catch up. But let me just make it super clear. It's not even that chat is lagging, I just need to get through stuff. You'll need to chill out with fighting with youthful politics. I think you misunderstood what youthful politics is saying. Yeah, relax. They seem fine. You're jumping the gun. Hello, you had a couple of questions about voice lessons. Do you see the name of the person paying? And also, do you need to have your video on for their lessons? You don't need to have a video on. I take payments through PayPal. So whatever your PayPal says, usually it does show a name. If you want, I guess you could create a business account. Because I'm pretty sure you can just create a business account. And then you can set that as a name that doesn't show to the other person. Have a go with that if you want. But it will normally show you as whatever PayPal says your name is. You can also change your PayPal name. Any of those sorts of things will work. Yeah. You haven't seen the channel before, so that's why you use. Yeah, totally fine for this. And yeah, you don't need to have video on. I will have video on so I can like gesture to points in the neck and stuff and to make you more comfy, I guess. But you certainly don't need to. Some people do, some people don't. It's up to you. I have no idea what Atovia accusing Lupta. What was Lupta's previous thing? As a biological male, what's the difference between feminizing and androgenizing your voice? Yo, okay, Atovia, chill. That is not rage bait. That's an entirely reasonable question. The difference between feminizing and androgenizing your voice, it's the exact same process, but if you're androgenizing, you basically need to choose where that stops, okay? So you do the same stuff, you just don't do it as much, and then where you actually settle on what you feel is complete for your androgynous voice, like what you like, is going to be a little bit of exploration. You're figuring out exactly where do you want it, how do you want your androgenized voice to sound. Androgenization is a little harder, because obviously you don't have something that like naturally occurs, like people aren't born with androgenized voices, and that doesn't result from puberty. So you have to do a little bit more exploration and figuring out exactly how you want to sound. But if you play around with it, you'll get there. It just comes from, so if you're AMAB, you're going to be feminizing. If you're AFAB, you're going to be masculizing. You just don't do it as much. So you kind of reach that halfway point. And again, the exactness of that halfway point is going to be up to you and how you like it. Yo, we have our, hopefully no, my name is popped up there. I guess you can see my games folder. Music has finished. Let me put on some more music. This is going to be a long stream because heck, you're all here, so I am going to stream for you. Okay, get chat back up. Boopity boop boop boo. Okie dokie. Yeah, Octavia, I think you need to chill a little bit. And yeah, I am just catching up. It's not a lag thing. Boopity boop boop boo. How do we avoid vocal fry? You feel like your voice gets rough when you go to lower and open up. Yeah, practice. So if you have a feature coming into your voice a lot, practice doing more of it and then practice doing less of it. So if that particular thing is vocal fry, then practice doing a whole bunch of it where you go really crazy with that vocal fry, and then practice trying to remove it again, and then adding some more, and then removing it again and adding some more, and keep practicing that till you get some really good control over it. As you gain that control, you'll be able to just remove it whenever you want to. Yeah. Oh, is it just because you guys were saying because for biological male? Relax, guys. Relax. It's entirely valid for somebody to not have the perfect terms, like chill. And yeah, AMAB means assigned male at birth, AFAB assigned female at birth. Hey, how can you do a voice similar to Baldy's from Baldy's Basics? I have no idea who Baldy's Basics is, so you'll have to tell me more about that voice. If that's a masculine voice, start off with the gender stuff and go from there. Yeah. Bizarre was catching up with your question. I hope that was Lupita's question on about Lismara. Hopefully I did get to it. Cool. Hello, confused NB, trying to get a more mask voice. Gonna be here. Yeah, so again, what I was talking about earlier, larger size plus heavier weight. I feel like I shouldn't just repeat the drills over and over again, but obviously new people are coming in here, so like, oh wait, oh, you just repeat the question, that's totally fine. Also, does anyone get gender envy from Ton Lera? I don't know who that is, so sorry, I don't know. Octavia, chill. Chill. Okay? Relax. Logomancy Media. Having experienced a reflux issue as a singer, you can recommend looking at the foods I eat. Potentially, yes. I would very much encourage speak to a doctor about those things. Because as someone who's not a medical professional, like it's outside of the scope of what I can advise on. And same for most of chat, unless we have some doctors in here. Yeah. Boo. Okay, you'll really need to relax a little bit, okay? I'm gonna bring new people, it's cool. We don't know what cishet people are gonna bring to the table here. No. Okay, I want to make an immediate, very, very clear, I guess, stance that I'm putting here. And if you don't like this stance, then tough luck, okay? Cis people are allowed here. Heterosexual people are allowed here. It's all chill. Voices for everybody. We are absolutely not keeping it behind whether you're trans, cis, whatever. I don't care. If you want to learn about your voice, then you're in the right place. That's it. That is all there is to it. I want to make that abundantly clear, okay? And as such, like, be a bit more accommodating to cis people not necessarily having the perfect terms. Like, it's fine. As long as they're, like, not trying to be hateful, then, like, it's fine. Chill. Yeah, okay. Obviously, I'm also behind in chat, so you probably have already caught on to that. Okay, let me just really quickly start going through and just finding the questions and stuff. The person had the acid reflux person, she had a surgery to tighten her stomach 2 years ago. Her whole esophagus was burned. Oh, yikes. Now her voice is wheezy and thin. I would say speak to a doctor about that. That sounds like a much more serious situation. Definitely speak to a doctor first. Yeah, that is definitely something to speak to a doctor about. I'll find solid resources to recommend the AMAB AFAB folks help out. I don't know what you're referring to, sorry. Boopity boop boop boo. Can you give trans mask voice tips or only feminizing? No, trans mask, absolutely trans mask as well. Everybody, trans mask, whether you're masculizing, androgenizing, feminizing, I can help all of y'all. I have gone over just earlier how to, like, for basic drills and stuff. If you are brand new to voice, okay? First of all, look up what Saturday, 7 p.m. BST is in your time zone, okay? That's going to be my next workshop. All right, I do it every single Saturday. So tune in for that because I'll go through the whole process start to finish in a huge amount of detail. It's like 3 to 4 hours long. We really go through it all. So definitely attend that because you're going to benefit so much from it. Because obviously I can't go through the entire process here. Okie dokie. Yeah, don't worry about it, Octavia. Hi, you're Cesp. You have a question? Yeah, Cesp, you're absolutely welcome here. You know a lot of trans women from many different places, but also all of them have developed a Valley Girl accent. Yes! Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked about this. Okay, this is a huge problem in the trans voice teaching world, okay? Voice training should not have any impact on your accent whatsoever, okay? But you're absolutely right that so many trans women end up sounding very specifically like West Coast Americans. You might notice there are also a lot of trans voice coaches that are from West Coast America. I think what's happened is essentially because the internet is largely America, essentially, and because West Coast America is a very accepting, part of West Coast America is like a very accepting part of America. You end up with just a bias of a lot of coaches being from there. And I think a lot of them have brought in things from their accent that, because West Coast America has a bit more of a gender divide within its accent itself, hence there's a Valley Girl, and it's specifically Valley Girl. So there is a gender split even in the accent itself. But that's not really the case for most accents. There isn't really a British thing. For most European voices, that's not really a thing. And a lot of coaches have conflated the concept of what is making your West Coast accent more feminine versus what is for everybody. So they conflated it with being fundamentally feminine when it's just for that West Coast context. It's not a thing for most people. So yeah, watch out for those things. If you use the drills I've showed you earlier in this stream, they won't change your accent. There's no reason why they would. So really be careful with that. You don't need your if you see someone telling you to change your articulation or your speech pattern or your prosody or anything like that, that's not necessary, and they're probably American telling you that, or they've learned from an American. So watch out for that. Have to deal with is ridiculous, so you don't blame me for getting defensive. Yeah, people are being a little bit too much. Yo, Bria
subscribed to the channel.
Yo, Bria, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It's just an issue of basically too many American voice coaches that think that American things are everyone things when they're actually just American things. And that's expanded out and become a bit of an issue. But it feels like there's a new wave of teachers coming. Like the new generation of teachers seem to have clocked in on this. Because now that the field is expanding, there are more than just Americans. We have a lot of Europe joining in. So I think it'll get better. I think this is just an issue of the time. Employee of the month, you can absolutely ask a question. I'm quite behind on chat, so I'm trying to get through people's questions. But yeah. Okay, it looks like Otavia and Lupita are making up now, so that's good. You're not trans, but got this on your homepage. Hope you are doing good. Sincerely, a random internet one. Yo, Micah, thank you so much. That's really kind of you. Always had an original irritation with the accent since you was a kid. You wondered if it was like an inherent side effect of voice training. Yeah, no, it doesn't have to be. If your accent has changed, then that didn't have to happen, and you can move it back, and it's fine. Like, let yourself move it back. You might need to like relearn how to do it without the accent change being conflated, but yeah, like it's so doable. I suppose like how people learning another language will adopt the accent of teacher. Yeah, it's a similar sort of thing. Zara, me. Do you use IDEA, International Dialectics of English Archive, for any of your training? We use it for folks training in voice acting. Just wondering if that's the case over upon too. No, I don't tend to use any of those sorts of things because I try really hard to make sure that your accent isn't affected. So your dialect shouldn't matter. There is no such thing as a feminine dialect. It's just like, because there's women everywhere, you know. So like, yeah. In my teaching, nobody's dialects change, and so it doesn't end up being relevant. Yeah. You feel like trans guys wind up sounding quite androgynous on average. It's just voice training. And also you might be hearing trans guys earlier in their transition. A lot of trans men will get a lot of what they need from testosterone, and for those that want more, or for those that don't want testosterone, or for those that just want to get it done sooner, voice training can help them. Your AFAB, you were doing T for nearly a year and decided to detransition. But your voice is super low now and it's hard to talk. Your voice vibrates and head spins. Also, it's hard to talk loudly. Yeah, okay, so employee of the month, basically, and this might feel a bit uncomfortable. I don't know, because I don't know what it'll feel like, but basically you need to do the same thing as feminizers do. You're feminizing your voice. So just like for anybody looking for a feminine voice, you go through the voice feminization process, and it's the exact same process. Yeah, hopefully that sounds fine. I know that it's like there's an implication that it is for trans women, but like not necessarily. You know, if you're it's just for anyone that wants to feminize their voice. So yeah, hopefully that's okay for you. But the process is identical. It's the same process. And yes, yeah, you can 100% fix it. Does speaking slower make you more feminine? I'm afraid it does not. All that happens, I will do a quick recap on the two sounds. Okay, I went over how okay, there are drills you use to do this. You don't just do this. Don't try to just copy me. But to tell you the sound changes that happen, feminization or masculization, gendering presentation of a voice is these two things. It's just two things, okay? It is size. Size is the sound change from ah. You might also hear that referred to as resonance or as larynx height. The other thing is weight. Ah. I'll just show you it with a larger size.
Oh. Okay, so this is me having a heavier voice with a larger, a heavier and larger voice. This is me having a larger, lighter voice.
This is me having a smaller, lighter voice, and this is me having a smaller, heavier voice. Okay? Just those two things. You move one at a time to get to where you're trying to get to. Lots of love to you. I hope it gets better soon. Oh, I didn't see what that's originally from. Yeah, hi there. Does about 1 year on HRT. Being about 1 year on HRT. But one thing that's killing all your progress is inconsistency. How do you keep your voice at that kind of range? Just practice. Just practice. And make sure, this is important, don't practice by reading. Don't practice by going over rehearsed lines. I know we all love a Rainbow Passage, and I know we all love some Heat from Fire, but it's trash. I'm sorry. Practice by just talking, okay? So go through whatever drill you're going for to set up your modification, whether it's size or weight or whatever. Go through your drill, then just talk, okay? Try to hold that sound change.
Whimsy the Fae subscribed to the channel.
Yo, Whimsy the Fae, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for subscribing. That's so lovely of you. So hold that change that you're making as you just go into some talking. If it starts to drop, re-drill and then carry on talking, okay? And keep doing that over and over and over again, and eventually it'll start building some consistency. Okie dokie. You're not trans, but you do want to know how to do like a raspy metal singing voice without hurting your throat. Any advice? That's beyond the scope of what I would normally teach. That's more singing stuff. Generally speaking, you're using your false vocal folds, which is usually not a great way. You can do false vocal fold screaming, but you need to be really careful about it. I believe there is another way that people do heavy metal screaming, and I can't. It might be Rumble. Look into Rumble. That might help you. But look up. Okay, there's two ways to scream. There's false fold screaming, and there's the other one. Okay, I can't remember what the other one is. Go look that up. That'll help you. But yeah, singing stuff is a bit outside my scope. You know, said you're trans, but it's okay to make sure you're using the right pronoun. Oh yeah, she, her for me. What's a good food to have before training voice, and also bad foods? There's no good foods. There are neutral foods and there are bad foods. Bad foods are, and really like bad-ish. It's not a big deal. But like, oh, is our music finished again? No, it hasn't. It's just quiet. Yeah. So avoid spicy foods right before doing your voice training. Spicy foods contain a molecule called capsaicin that allows you to taste the spice. It's a mild irritant. That's why sometimes you cough on spicy foods. It's just mildly irritating for the vocal tract. Super not a big deal, and what you do through the day, it doesn't matter at all. Just don't do it right before voice training or right before a lesson. Milk, try to avoid that, again, right before a lesson, blah, blah, blah. Because you'll just excessively produce mucus. It's just a thing that dairy promotes. What were the other ones? Caffeine. Avoid caffeine right before doing voice work, because caffeine is a diuretic. It makes you pee more. You lose your fluids more. Drink lots of water. Water's good. A warm drink can be good, just to warm things up a bit. So like a warm tea, maybe, something like that. Apart from that, just lots of water. Water's the key thing. Lismara, thank you so much for moderating for the time you're here, and thank you for being here. When you go on to T, will it affect your learning to scream? Have not learned yet or tried. Start sooner rather than later. You absolutely can learn stuff while taking T and while your voice is changing. It's totally fine. It's not going to have any problem. You will have some voice teachers telling you that you need to take a break while you're having tea. They're wrong. It makes no sense. Get them to explain why. They're wrong. They're just wrong. It's a skill. You're learning coordination, and so there's no reason why, just because your vocal tract is changing, doesn't mean you can't learn the coordination of the muscles. They're still the same muscles. Okie dokie. Ragnarok, thank you for coming. I'll definitely love to see you on Saturday. Yeah, for the people that are like finishing up and are having to go, definitely check out the Discord. That's going to be the best place for you to get resources from me. And I see Lismara said that exact same thing. Yeah, Lismara doing some work. Oh, and Mihogi even pinging it. I think you can do !Discord if that might help you. In fact, I haven't been seeing the bot send any messages. Hopefully our stuff is still working fine. Fingers crossed. I think I'm almost caught up with chat. Oh no, I am caught up with chat. Holy shit, I'm actually catching up. Is JB Pritzker our liberal woke savior? I have no idea who the fuck that is. I don't know myself, but hopefully it'll help. I'm losing track of who's saying what, but sure. Awesome. How long would it take to voice train for a deeper voice as AFAB? You're transmasc, but on the non-binary spectrum. You don't know if you would get on T yet. Yeah, so for all voice training, everybody massively varies. I know people that have taken years. I know that people have done it in a couple of months. Most people seem to sit around 6 to 8 months. Or that's a bit too specific. Like 6 months to a year. That seems to be the general ballpark. Usually around 3/4 of a year. But there's a lot of variation between people because it depends on how well you practice. Depends on how intuitive certain things come to you. Depends on like what you've already got going on. There's a lot of factors at play. It depends on if you get lessons. Lessons obviously speed things up drastically. So there's a lot of variables at play there. It's hard to give you a precise thing. Usually around 3/4 of a year, but like with variation, with heavy variation. Vocal Zone tablets taste horrible, but are magic. Yeah, I've heard good things about those. I haven't tried them myself, but I've heard good things. Hello, everyone. Hey, Juno. You love water? Good. You want about 2 to 2.5 liters of water a day. After the caffeine chat, you thought it was tea and not tea. Haha, lol. Yeah. Yeah, a cup of tea is about a quarter of the caffeine of coffee, if that is a useful piece of information for you. These are random things you pick up as a coach. But yeah, just keep on top of your practice, and that's going to speed things up. Obviously, if you get lessons, that'll speed things up. Yeah. Does your voice range get higher or lower, or is it some sort of curve? It's a skill. So you learn, as you learn better control, you learn to use higher pitches, smaller sizes, lighter weight, and vice versa. It's a skill thing. None of this, okay, this is really important. We're not building muscle. You're not gaining strength. None of that sort of thing is happening. You're learning precision and dexterity, okay? It's like when you learn guitar, you're not trying to build up hench fucking finger muscles, okay? Or whatever. You're building dexterity, okay? So it's a precision thing. It's not like a building strength, you know? Yeah. The only exception to that are people who are vocal underdoers. So if you use your voice so little that it's actually weakened and atrophied, then you need to build yourself back up to the average. But if you're already at the average, that's it. That's as far as it take that. Do you know why you're able to talk a lot lower than you can sing? Could be a million reasons behind that. I would guess that there's something going on in your particular singing style. Maybe you're using M2 a lot in your singing, and maybe you need to, like falsetto, head voice people call it. Maybe you need to learn to bring it back to M1. There's a million reasons that could be Sapphic vibes. Probably you have some kind of conflation. You're muddling something with something else, and that's affecting where you feel like you can take stuff. You can raise your pitch quite high by contracting your throat muscles. Ooh, no. First of all, you can't do that. That's not how pitch works. Secondly, don't try to control your muscles. Try to control the sound, okay? I went through some drills earlier. Go to one of the workshops. They're going to be the best way for me to teach you that, because I go through all of it in depth. Yo, Sarah Mandel, please stop with the non-English. And my huggies are right there. Do not try to control your muscles. Control the sound. Use one of the drills I went over earlier. Or come to one of the workshops where I'll go through them in way more depth. That's what you want to be using. So you're not trying to you're trying to go like that. You're not trying to change the muscles or anything. It's like if I take this bottle, open it, take a swig. I didn't think about any muscles when I did that. I didn't control my hand by going like, oh, extend my biceps, clench the muscles for control the tendons of my fingers, all of that nonsense. The level at which you control your body is like macro instructions. Pick up bottle, take drink. That's the level that you engage with your body. It's exact same with voice. Don't try to control the muscles. Control the sound. It's like when you're driving. You don't try to control like the axles and the way the wheels are turning. You just push, acceleration, turn, increase gear. Like that's the level you engage it. You don't engage it from micro level. Yeah. If you want to go for a Snow White, I guess squeaking works. Depends on exactly what you're going for there. Boo. Okay. Yo, Sarah Mandel, you need to chill. Your voice is pretty deep in terms of pitch. Deeper actually than most cis guys. But I'm struggling to build resonance. Also struggling to sing well. Went from soprano to bass in a year and sound bad. Okay, so first of all, soprano, alto, bass, all of those things are styles. They are not fundamental to you. They're just styles. So you can absolutely move from soprano to bass, back to soprano, whatever you want to do. It's a stylistic thing. It's just a matter of training. Literally what those words mean is someone who was trained in this style. That's like what for. So like soprano means someone who has trained in these particular things. So yeah, that's the first thing there. Secondly, I've lost your message. There it is. Struggling to build resonance. What exercise have you been using? Have you been using the whispered one I mentioned earlier? Because that's where you want to be. Mimicry is a really hard thing to do with resonance, like a really freaking hard thing. So go for a whisper drill. It's much easier. And then I'd have to hear what's going wrong to be able to give you some more specific advice. You're not trans, but you want to learn how to feminize your voice. That's awesome. For the sake of voice acting, hells yeah. Where should you start? Check out one of the workshops. So I've only got another hour left because I've got another lesson to teach. But one, you can get lessons. And join my Discord. That's the best place to get everything that I do. Like the number one place is the Discord. If I do !Discord, that should do a thing. Fingers crossed. So start there. I also have some workshop VODs you can go over if you want to. Just go through the live section, you'll find them. The workshops are Saturday, 7 p.m. GMT. Sorry, BST. We're on summertime right now. British time, basically. 7 p.m. BST. Check that in your local time zone. I don't know how much how in-depth you know about voice in your voice acting stuff. But I'll give you a couple of explanations depending on how sciencey you tend to get. So if you want to go super sciencey, we are lowering the larynx, and we are, for feminizing, we're lowering the larynx, and we are reducing the close quotient, okay? For a less sciencey version, okay, well, we are going from the sound change of oh to ah. Note that wasn't pitch, okay? Oh, that's pitch. Oh, pitch didn't change there, size changed, okay? The other one, the close quotient thing, is basically going from a buzzier weight to a lighter weight, okay? For sound difference, if I go over to here into like a more masculine voice, oh, okay? You hear that buzziness, oh, buzzy as heck, oh, lacking in all that buzziness, very soft, very gentle, okay? So bring those two things together. If we're starting here, first reduce that weight, oh, okay, and then change the size, okay, and now I have my voice. Obviously, you're not just going to do that I just did. Use the drills that I go over. The drills will teach you how to do it. The accents are synchronized. Oh, really? Lol. Tough luck, Sarah Mandel. Mihogi's mod, so they get to bully you around. That's a huge steering wheel. True. You literally have no idea why this is recommended by YouTube randomly as it's out of scope for you, but it's wonderful someone offers this online for free. Yo, thank you, Joyce. Yeah, I don't know. We seem to have the algorithm has just hit. So I normally get like for these streams. These are just I teach a lesson and then talk a chat for a bit. They normally get like 30 views, 40 views maybe. We're currently on 1,500 views. So it's going a little bit crazy. The algorithm has just like found me all of a sudden. It's pretty cool. So that's probably why I ended up on your home screen. Thanks for running such a long, informative stream. Yeah, hells yeah. I mean, you're all here. I may as well like spend as long as I possibly have like tell you guys about stuff. Okay, I'm gonna say, all right, Sarah Mandel, that is your last warning. Okay. Stick to English so that I'm able to moderate and so that my mods can moderate, or that's Mihogi's already taken you out. Tough luck. You pushed the line too much. Hey, you're a singer. That's not really how you should tell people about natural voice ranges. Those really can't be changed. That's incorrect, Joe. I'm so sorry. If you're talking about where I'm referring to soprano versus alto versus bass, ... yeah, it is a changeable thing. Sorry, it just is. These aren't even like they don't even descriptions of like your anatomy or anything. It's the word has just left me. What's a freaking word for it? the word has left me for some reason. But basically, it is created by opera houses to categorize singers, so it is easier to categorize their ticket sales. That's it. It's just for like organizing an opera house. That's it. That's all. Soprano, alto, lyric, all of those sorts of things. They are stylistic. I'm sorry, they just are. And yeah, they're literally created so that opera houses have a much easier time categorizing singers and their speciality for then selling tickets and stuff. Because like, you got to somehow communicate to the audience that don't know about voice what they're buying a ticket for. Yeah. If you're on about other stuff, then like obviously you're hearing me change the other stuff. Moderation is extremely racist against Balkan people, sure. Extremely racist against people not using English because, like, you know, it's necessary. Otherwise, how am I gonna moderate, and how am my mods gonna moderate? Boo 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 boo. Oh, hey, Soul Strings. A lot of people have been asking about your music. Yeah, the algorithm just found us today. So yeah, it's going a little bit crazy. Everybody that sees Soul Strings in the chat, she is the person that made this music. So you've been enjoying her music for stream. That's Soul Strings. That's the person that made it. Boo 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 boo. Okay, we're almost caught up now. You must labeling. I mean, it's useful to label. Like, I'm not saying that like soprano is a useless term. Like, it's useful. If somebody tells you, "Oh, I'm a soprano singer," then you know what they specialize in, and you know the performance they're about to give. You know what it's going to be. So like, it has its utility. Just don't fuck. That's it. Yeah. Is it fuck? I thought it was fuck, as in with an A. I'm sure it's with an A. Yeah, it's with an A. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, spelled with an A. Fuck. Yeah, it's a German term. It literally was created by German opera houses to help categorize their singers. That's all it is. Boop, 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 boo. Yes, it's a social construct, but remember that social constructs are still useful things. Like, calling this a microphone is a social construct, but like, that doesn't make it any less a microphone, you know? It is referring to something real, you just gotta know what. You have a friend who intentionally broke their vocal cords when they were young. Okay, and now have a wild range. Very dangerous, don't do that. Broke their vocal cords is not a thing that exists. They might have caused themselves some kind of vocal injury. It wouldn't give them a wide range, it would just cause them an injury. They probably just have a wild range from practicing high pitches a lot. Yeah, I don't know exactly what would have happened necessarily. I would guess it would be something along the lines of causing maybe some tears or something in the vocal folds or something from like the really intense pressures possibly. Hard to know exactly. Like, there's a variety of things it could be. But super avoid damage, okay? If your voice is hurting from what you're doing, you need to stop, because if you keep going, you could cause some serious damage. If you cause serious damage, it has to be fixed through surgery. So like, don't do that. If it hurts, stop doing it. It's causing you a problem. It's making it harder for you to use your voice. Hope it's alright to ask again. How do you recommend adding or removing softness to the voice? Yeah, I'm kind of catching up, so we can go over this again. Softness or what we would normally call weight here in the trans voice world. I don't care what term you use though, so long as we're talking about the same thing. If you're talking about the difference between and or the difference between and the drill we're going to use, okay, that weight stuff has a big connection with pitch, alright, for reasons I won't go into today. Essentially, as you slide up your pitch, it's easier to do so if you also lighten your weight, and you probably will do that intuitively. So you'll go something like, if I bring it over to here, assuming we're feminizing, we're starting from a more masculine space. You can hear as I'm going up there, it's getting gentler. So then start bringing that down again, holding on to that gentleness, okay? And now
you have that gentle sound to your voice whilst having brought the pitch back down again. Okay, so that's how you then make that adjustment. Music has finished. Let's put some more music on. I need to put these all into one big folder so I don't have to fuck around as much. Boop. And bring chat back up. Yo, we have some more of the regulars here. Hey, the stream kind of went viral, so this is why there's so many people here and why the view count is so high. Yeah, does that answer your question? Who was it that asked? It was Otavia, wasn't it? Yes, it was Otavia. Yeah, hopefully that is reasonably clear. Go through, basically, if you don't even understand it, just go through. Keep going higher up in pitch. Eventually it'll start lightening. Once it lightens, start bringing that pitch back down again. Okay? So that ultimately we haven't really changed pitch, we've just gotten lighter. And then try to carry that through into the talking. Okay? Now I'll get you that lightness. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, I know, Soul Strings, it's crazy. We restarted the stream. I think it's because I changed the title. And suddenly, like, 60 people showed up. It was crazy. I'm really glad you're all here, though. That's, like, it's really, really cool. So vocal ranges are a social construct. Kind of. First of all, soprano isn't a vocal range. It's much more than that. It typically incorporates a vocal range, as well as a bunch of stylistic other things. So, to that extent, yes. The vocal range you can do is mainly down to a practice thing. Like, you can expand your range to a pretty crazy degree. Eventually, you will obviously hit a hard limit because, like, we can't infinitely go up in pitch. But like, the science is still out on how much an individual can increase their pitch range, because it seems like a way higher than anyone's guess would be, and we don't know the extent of it yet, because it's just not been thoroughly studied. Voice isn't a very well studied field yet, unfortunately. It's getting better, but yeah. So yeah, if you're talking just to help with distinguishing words so you guys don't get too muddled up, soprano, alto, blah, 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 that's called FAC, F-A-C-H, okay? Vocal range is just whatever thing we're talking about. Usually when people say range, we're talking about pitch, how large, just A to B is a range, sort of thing. Yeah. Boo, 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 boo. Sometimes when we recover from injury, we start using better technique and strengthen the injured area, regardless of the type of injury. This might apply to voices too. I'm afraid it definitely doesn't apply to voice. Absolutely avoid injuring your voice. Injuring your voice, in a best case scenario, means you need to take a break from voice, let it recover, and then you can start using it again, which means you just lost out on a whole bunch of practice time. Worst case scenario, you start forming what are called vocal nodes, and they can eventually develop into polyps, which are these like big sacs of pus essentially, and they have to be removed surgically, and they will cause you significant issues. Always avoid injury. Never push through the pain. You will cause a problem, okay? That's really important. Like, and as you cause injuries there, you can cause like long-term issues. Really do not injure your voice. That's a big, big thing to avoid. Boo, 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 boo. So you're not trans as far as you know, totally fine. But you're really into singing / voice acting. And whenever you try to do a higher pitch, you think that's a term. English is not your first language, your voice breaks. Yeah, so you might be finding that there's two things you might be meaning there. Either you're having where the sound is kind of cutting in and out. That's a phonation issue. Basically, you need to develop some better pitch control. Look up, if you go to one of my VODs, one of my workshop VODs, I go through this properly. I'll go to one of the workshops, I go through this properly. Look up bubble phonations. The video should show you, or just use the one that I show you. But basically, you're looking for somebody telling you to stick a straw, or just here's the instruction, I guess. Stick a straw in the water, okay? It wants to be deep enough that you can feel the resistance as you blow bubbles into it, and blow bubbles and add sounds. You're going like ooh into the straw, okay? Then start moving up and down your pitch
that'll help you to use your pitch in a more efficient way. It'll help you stabilize that. Use that to teach yourself how to be gentler with your pitch. Also remember, higher pitches, don't push to get to a higher pitch. You actually need to ease off to get to a higher pitch, okay? Be more gentle as you get to higher pitches. Think of higher pitches as like made of glass. If you push too hard, it can break. And you have whatever you're meaning by voice breaks. You could also just be meaning as your voice is going from M1 to M2, you have like a hard break, like a hard, you're a singer, hard, what's the word? It's freaking gone. I'm too like, wow, we have too many viewers. Ragio. Fucking, what's the word? Where you have M1, M2 switch from like, that. Oh, what's the word? Fuck, someone help me here. Oh, it's gonna annoy me. God, mental block is the worst. Fuck, that's not gonna help me. Oh god, passaggio. Thank you so much, Soul Strings. Yes, passaggio. Yes, if you have a hard passaggio and you haven't smoothed it out, that's like if you're certain singing styles will want you to smooth it out. Certain singing styles will want a really like hardcore passaggio, and they'll use that as a feature of the music. So it depends on what kind of style you're going for in terms of whether you want to smooth out that passaggio. That break between M1 and M2. M1, M2, right now in M1, right now in M2. Some people call this falsetto. Falsetto is actually a singing style. I don't really care if you call it falsetto. Don't call it head voice. That's a stupid term. Your voice isn't in your head. Your voice isn't in your chest. It's in your throat. Okie dokie. Your injuring voice is like breaking your knee. They are never the same. Yeah. You do not injure your voice. It is a big mistake. Your vocal range is karaoke. True. You don't ever think someone should injure their voice. You was thinking that if someone returned from an injury suddenly has more range, it's possible less to do with injury and more to do with... Yeah, it won't... If they have got more range, it wasn't because of the injury. Basically, ever. If anything, that would potentially limit their range. Always, never, you're never going to reach a vocal goal through injury. That's going to put you back in your goals. The person that has the extra range and seemingly after an injury, it's probably because they were trying to practice a larger range and have developed that, but in the process they damaged their voice because they didn't do it very well. That's what I would guess. Also, absolutely love the stream. Yo, thank you. You've not heard or seen anything but new question here except the giant invisible steering wheel. Yeah, that's fair. US Supreme Court upholds Tennessee law restricting gender transition care for minors. That sucks. Passaggio with a mouthful pasta is not a great sound. Fair. You just realized you think you meant like a voice crack. That's what's called in English. Also, you feel like you should clarify you're not a singer or voice actor or anything, just really interesting. Yeah, that's fair. You're probably talking about the passaggio, so like it would be like, if I make it really dramatic, obviously nobody actually sounds like this, but like, if you mean that, that's just you switching from your, what people call chest voice, call it M1, okay? And to your M2, what people call head voice. It's just you switching between them. If you practice it, you can smooth it out. For some singing stuff, that might be useful to you. You don't necessarily have to smooth it out, though. Some singing styles, you actually want it to be there. It depends on the style. Yeah. Boo. That's true. The injury might have caused him to be more careful. They also might have had some work with a speech-language therapist to help with recovery, and from there got more efficient with their voice. How do you injure your voice? There's a variety of ways. Basically, if you do something that hurts, and we're usually thinking about a sharp stabbing pain, although sometimes it can be a burning sensation when it's around here-ish, then whatever's causing pain, the pain is you causing some light damage. Usually not a big deal. You just stop doing that. take a little break, come back. But if you just push through the pain and keep going, you're going to be causing more damage, and eventually could cause an injury. Most of the time, it's not the end of the world. You're just going to have to take a break. The more you've injured yourself, the more of a break you're going to have to take. But it can be serious, okay? Again, worst case scenario, if you keep pushing through the pain, you can start developing vocal nodes. Keep going past there, those vocal nodes can develop into polyps, and they have to be removed surgically. So it can be a really big deal. Yeah. It's not only immediately hurt trans children, which would be bad enough. It completely eviscerates 80 years of equal protection jurisprudence. Might even be worse than Dobbs. Yeah. Nice. You should see the Supreme Court hearing we've just had here in England, because I'm not allowed to use bathrooms anymore. In public bathrooms, it's hilarious. The European the Equality and Human Rights Commission in England have said that trans people cannot use the bathroom of their gender, and in some circumstances cannot use the bathroom of their sex. So that's an interesting decision. They did specify that there shouldn't ever be a situation where they can't use any bathroom, but like, what the fuck? How's that going to work for fucking cleaners? Because like cleaners are very often not like the same sex as the bathroom they're going into. They're just fucking cleaning. But whatever. We had some crazy shit here. If you're into the politics stuff. In fact, look into my past streams back in April. I actually covered it. It's pretty crazy. How do you injure your... Oh yeah, I went over that. Using wrong techniques, pushing yourself too far too quick. Yeah, that sort of thing. You missed something with what Nice is referring to. Nice is referring to, if you scroll up, you'll find it. The US Supreme Court upholding the Tennessee law restricting gender transition care for minors. Yeah, that's what that was about. That's the hardest part of your singing classes. You still struggle with transition. Your gender transition has ironically been much easier. Yeah, that's valid. If you're having singing lessons, I would recommend also having like, and I can do this if you'd like, or it can be a different coach. Also have a gender affirming voice care coach or trans voice care coach, because like most singers, okay, real talk, most singers don't know fucking anything about voice. Most singing teachers are fucking shit when it comes to actually how voice functions. And you hear, like now, like as a professional, I'm in a lot of professional spaces, and like, fuck, dude, singing teachers, I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. There's just like none of it is, there's so much nonsense. Like I heard the other day somebody saying that like, oh yeah, to get to higher pitches you should go nasal. What? No, that's not true at all. There's nothing. Higher pitch, okay? Your vocal folds, or your vocal cords, if that's the term you use, they vibrate, okay? They open and close, letting air out in pulses, and that vibrates the air. Faster they go, higher the pitch. That's it. Your vocal folds are like here. Your nose is here. Why would anything to do with nasality have anything to do with down here? It's nonsense. But yeah, this is just the random shit you hear. Boo. Yeah, so just like watch out for that. It's good to have somebody that like trans voice coaches, a very good one, tend to know a bit more about how voice functions, because it's just been necessary to deep dive a bit more because of the drastic change that we're making to the sound. Is it possible to get good at singing if you suck at first? Absolutely, yes it is. Are there some people who will never be able to sound good? Only if they have like a diagnosed condition. Like if you literally have like there's some kind of pathology to your voice, then that could limit what you can do. Even in those situations though, there's usually options available to you, or like styles available to you. Like almost everybody, unless you have like a literal like voice pathology that's untreated, can learn to sing. It's just a skill like any other. Just like you can learn, everybody can learn to change the gender presentation of their voice. Everybody can learn to do that. It's just a skill. You've been not so quietly going, I need to use the lute right now, but you need to use the lute right now, but I don't want my genitals inspected outside places. Using that law to discriminate. Yeah, don't use public bathrooms anymore. I don't use them unless it's like a literally a gender neutral bathroom that's like, you know, it's just a room with a toilet in it, because they don't have to be legally, they don't have to be single sex spaces there. So like, you know, if you're in like a cafe and something and it's just a toilet, it's just a generic toilet, I'll use that, that's fine. But those are the only public toilets I can use now, because I guess technically it's illegal for me to use the other ones, which is fucking insane. But hey, such is life, I guess, in the UK. Boo. You're responding to someone called Mario, and I don't see a person called Mario. But I'll read it out anyway. Hi, Mario is, I think it's more the worse you are, the longer you have to practice. But there's not even that, Otavia. Like, usually it's just a skill, and you need to figure out the skill. And it might be more intuitive to you. Oh, Mario is an autocorrect thing. Okay. It might be more intuitive. It might be less intuitive. But, like, it's just a skill that anyone can learn. You're gonna hop off? Yeah, no worries. Yeah, thank you for being here. I guess check out the Discord. That's gonna be the best place to go. Or check out the future live streams. Again, our next live stream, the Saturday live stream, will be a full workshop going through all of this stuff. Yeah. Oh, it's definitely possible. You're living proof. You started taking lessons after your nesting partner suggested you make a Twitch channel, called Tone Deaf Divas. Just notice the improvement. Yeah, so, okay, there you go. Whimsy has improved her singing, or their singing. So, like, yeah. Anyone can do that. You become more aware of unisex toilets now? Yeah, I guess same. If Zara starts talking about a Little Mermaid music again, I swear to God. Listen, your fucking pianist threw in some Little Mermaid, so what can I say? You're glad you don't know why, but since you was a kid, you figured it was just something inherent. Yeah, it's not. A lot of people think that, to be fair, because, again, information on singing is not very good, unfortunately. Maybe I need to expand and become a singing teacher and fix that, but yeah. There are good singing teachers, though, to be super abundantly clear. The only humour you find in it is we've now got very masked AFAB men in the latest Yeah. It's, I feel like our salvation is gonna be trans dudes, because, you know, fucking, if I grab, oh, my dog's gonna do some barking stuff because my boyfriend's just getting home. If I grab, Jamie Dodger, trans, or it's Jamie Dodger, isn't it? Yeah, Jamie Rains. How long is this gonna stick around when that dude is legally having to use women's bathroom? Is that what they wanted? Is that what the TERFs wanted, for him to be in the bathroom with them? I feel like the answer's probably no. So I'm hoping that situation, because legally that is what he has to do, I'm hoping that's going to kind of fix this, because they're going to very quickly freak out when that starts happening. Not filmed for guys? Yeah, for sure. Just other dum-dums who always forget trans masks exist? Yeah, for sure. And to be fair, like, someone is passing as Jamie, like, I don't think he has to worry about it. He can use his men's bathroom. Nobody's going to bat an eyelid. But if he wants to take one for the team and start using the women's bathroom, probably help. But yeah. I actually haven't watched any of his videos. I know a trans dude, and I know that he watched his videos, so, yeah. Yo, I caught up. I finally got fucking caught up. That's nuts. Yo, hey people, I can respond to you live. Just watched a couple of his vids today. Maybe that's how the algorithm brought you here. Maybe. I feel like you want to do a band together and beard up thing, like what happens sometimes with skirts at shorts at school. Yeah, do it. 100%. I've been curious about how someone would go through the process of learning how to sing by themselves without a vocal coach of any sorts. And if so, could you share some advice about how to do so? Yeah, so again, I'm not a singing teacher, so it's a little bit outside of my scope. Yeah, so for singing stuff, like, look for people like me, content creators that are giving the knowledge for free, I guess. Obviously, you're never gonna learn as fast as someone getting lessons. Yeah, that's the best I got for you. Yeah, just look for free resources that are out there, I guess. Not for long, you're typing fast. True. Your choir is volunteer only and super top heavy. 4 sopranos to get all the solos. Yeah, 12 altos, 1 contra alto. And then you back in the corner covering bass and baritone alone. Yeah, yeah, it's just a thing, I think. The voice world seems to just really like sopranos. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do for you there. Not if you have anything to say, but true. Answering questions takes time, and in the meantime, there's just more messages to read. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, Soul Strings, you should have seen it when we had like 65 people here. I was like, I was legit like 20 minutes behind in chat. Because like, I don't want to miss people's questions, you know? But hey. But yo, apparently I need to title my streams more like this stream. Because this is, wow. I mean, partly it must have just been luck that just the algorithm fucking did a thing and then that spiraled off. But yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, 1,500, nearly 1,600 views. That's fucking nuts. Like that, my highest viewed thing, which was an event, you know, it was a workshop, is like 300 odd views. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You subbed here and joined the disc. Yeah, time to go grab a lunch break. Yeah, catch you later, Whimsy. Yeah, reminders to everybody that's here. The best place to get all of the things from me are going to be both subscribing to YouTube, so you get all of the things that happen, and the big one is get to the Discord, which is this link here. It's also just in the description, but it's also on your screen there. The Discord is the place. You really want to be heading to the Discord. That's where I do the lessons. There's public lessons you can listen in on. We have makeup workshops. We're very soon to have makeup consultations by a makeup artist I hired. We have just if you're wanting to book lessons with me, you can book lessons with me. There's channels where you can like just submit a clip, and when I have a time, I will just listen over for it. You can just do that. It's not like a charged thing. You can also just like ask questions in there. You know, I check in as often as I'm able to, and it's just like a cool community. You know, I have a pretty cool community. I will absolutely freaking like laud them high because they're fucking awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Definitely recommend the Discord. Just joined. You're sure someone already asked? That's okay. But what are subtle exercises to extend vocal range or voice range? Yeah, no, it's totally fine. Now that we're all caught up, I can re-go over anything we need to. So first of all, okay, vocal range. Remember, I can answer that. So if you're trying to increase your pitch range, it's just gonna be a simple matter of do something like a lip trill, like a softy. Any softy you like. Lip trill's my favorite. Where we go like, and slowly expand outwards. Once you get to your maximum pitch range, once you get to your maximum pitch range, we'll go up and do a siren at the top. Okay. And use that to help you slowly expand upwards. It's the same thing going down. And just slowly expand your pitch range like that. But if you're talking about gendery things, none of that's pitch. Don't worry about pitch, okay? You want to use the exercises I went over earlier. So your size stuff, your weight stuff. And that's just practice. Just keep practicing, getting to the further extensions of that. And slowly, as you get better at it, as you build more precision, you're going to expand that range. But yeah, pitch, remember, pitch is barely... Please don't move the mic. I know, okay. I've just changed the mic setup, so now I have like a mic like that. Instead of before, I had this mic that was just like propped up on my desk. So now it's like right in front of me. So I'm bumping it regularly. And like this is my first time. I guess I also used it like yesterday, but just for a few lessons. Bump the mic. I gotta like reset it now. Yes, I'm gonna be bumping the mic a lot while I get used to it being there. I've never had something propped up in front of me before. By the way, is it safe to practice voice stuff with a hernia diaphragm thing? And don't worry if the default answer is ask your doctor. Yeah, the default answer is ask your doctor. Yeah, sorry, ask your doctor. I don't like giving that answer though, because most doctors don't know shit about this sort of stuff. Learn more. Okay. Ask your doctor to teach you more about what the hernia is. Literally. Okay? Find out. Can you raise your... Okay, this is what you need to ask them. Can you raise your larynx while having a hernia? If your hernia doesn't impact swallowing at all, and doesn't impact yawning at all, then I see no reason why you would have an issue, other than potentially fatiguing quicker. But I'm not a medical professional, so, you know, consult your doctor. But in theory, everything we do for feminizing, you do every single time you swallow, okay? Along with a bunch of other stuff. Don't use swallowing to train yourself, but in theory, like, one of the things involved in swallowing is also something you do in feminization. Also, whenever you yawn, one of the things in the yawn is going to impact the weight. So you do those two things already. Yeah. Are you sure you're not just bored, doctor? I did not get that joke. I feel like there was a funny joke there, and I didn't get it. I'm so sorry. E doesn't affect vocal folds at all. Yeah, sorry. Oh, did I miss that? Wait, do you lose your lower range on E? E has zero effect on the vocal tract. It does absolutely nothing. Only thing that affects the vocal tract is testosterone. Sorry, I missed a couple of messages. Your love has a bottle with a tube to do that. Bubbling next to you while you're gaming. Oh, yeah. You love it so much. Yeah, I've seen that product. Is it any good? I've seen it. I haven't seen my reviews of it, though. It's because it's, like, just recently come out, hasn't it? You don't need that thing, but, like, it seems like a convenient way to do it. So, larynx. Larynx. It's this box of cartilage here. Oh no, you can't swallow at all when it flares up, so probably needs... Okay, yeah. If you can't swallow, 100% you need to take a break. Because, yeah, if you can't swallow, then you probably have some issue raising your larynx. You need to take a step back until you've dealt with that situation. It does a very good job. Oh, cool. Yeah, I need to check those out more. Because it seems like a cool product. Because the issue of bubble finishes is they fucking splash water everywhere. Let me get you some more music. I've just been bouncing between each of the albums. Because we have had a long stream today to take advantage of the fact that we had a shit ton of viewers. We normally finish earlier than this. But hey, I'm going to keep going until I have a private lesson. I have a hard out at 6 because I'm teaching at 6 o'clock. Okay. Having computer issues. Have it to reset. Oh no. Thanks, Algram. Thank you. Yeah, you're super welcome. I'm glad you're here. You think you're 30 seconds behind? Oh no. Refresh your stuff, people. Hopefully that helps. I don't know why the music didn't start straight away there. And I'm caught up with chat. Holy moly. What an insane stream this has been. Thank you all so fucking much for being here. This has been fucking nuts. I have never experienced anything like this before. Like, there are so many of you here. And that's so fucking cool. So just thank you for being here. Like, it's been just nuts. I cannot describe how crazy this is. Look into my past, just go, open my channel in another tab, hit the live bit, and you'll see what my normal view count is. Or, I don't know if you can see the subscribers, before this stream, but, yeah. How do you get started with voice training? Oh, you're asking about 20 minutes before we're finishing. Okay. Hard for me to walk you through that whole process right now, Noni. Okay. Let's give a better answer to this. Let me Okay, hang on. Let me close that. Let me grab one of these. Okay. We'll just do that. YouTube.com/@trans_network. I accidentally hit there. Okay. You're at this channel right now. So, head over to the playlists, or head over to the live, because I'll tell you which was the best one in my opinion so far. The best workshop I've done, it has a lot of views because it's one I usually link people to, is... Also, this gives you, like, okay, today was a voice lesson with Lismara, okay, and then hanging out with Chad. That was the last one. 39 views. It was like 3 or 4 people. Holy shit, today's been an insane day. Thank you all so fucking much. Okay, where's the best one? It has like that one there. Okay, this is the one I would recommend most. Is it in the playlist? I'm a little late on getting the playlist fully up to date. But there's a whole playlist of stuff here. Is it that one? 350? No, it's not. I don't think it's in the playlist. I'll get that set up so you can use the playlist. But yeah, go to one of these workshops, okay? I do a workshop every single Saturday, 7 p.m. BST, okay? That's British time. Check what that is in your time zone. Or if just join the Discord, and from in the Discord, go onto the events and it'll show you it's in your time zone. If you join through the Discord, then you can join the VC that I present it in, and then I'll actually be able to take a look at your specific voice at the end, if you'd like me to. Yeah, go through one of these workshops. I go through, the reason these are so long is because I literally go through the full process, okay? This is the one I recommend most. Streamed on the 3rd of May, it's free, 43, with links in the chat. This was my best one, I think. Yeah, oh, it is in the playlist, is it? No, wait, no, that's... Wait, is it the top of the playlist? Is that the same one? Also, freaking Soul Strings. I fucking love this song. It is a really good one. Yeah, it is. It's the top of the playlist. Fuck yeah. Okay, but one of the top of the playlist, if you want to just hit the playlist there. This was my best one. I gotta say, this is my best work. Yeah, go through this. I go through the full process. It's that thing that I had up earlier. So we go through vocal health. We go through some softies, there where you're going to be starting. We go through weight stuff. We go through size stuff. Yeah. Very, very useful workshop. Yeah. Boo. Cool, yeah, hopefully that helps you, Noni. And anybody else that is looking for just something to get themselves started. Obviously, attend one of these workshops, that's your best option. But even if you can't attend one live, check out the VOD, it'll still help you a lot. Because the lecture portion is still the main core of it. Hopefully you can't hear my dog right now. You maybe can hear my dog right now. Lol. You're glad you're getting views? Thank you. You definitely your stuff. You certainly help a lot of people. Thank you, Otovia. Otovia, yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. This has been a pretty crazy day. So just, yeah, I just thank you all for being here. This is pretty nuts. I hope you understand this. When you hold the larynx on the highest point of when you swallow, you can't say words. Maximum breath, is that normal, or do you practice to get words out in that situation? It is entirely normal, Goog, because that is a terrible exercise. You will see people telling you swallow and hold. It is a really, really, really bad exercise. It has a very high proclivity to causing vocal injuries. The reasoning being is that, yes, when you swallow, your larynx raises, which is the size thing. However, so many more things happen than that, okay? When you swallow, the system is designed so that your tongue grabs hold of your chewed up food and makes it into a ball. That's so the first bit where you feel your tongue moving, that's what's happening there. It's called making a food bolus, okay? That food bolus is then pushed through your pharynx, okay, which is another part higher up, which then squeezes it down, and your larynx raises up to help push it down into your esophagus, down to your digestive system. Your larynx closes off, okay? There's a little flap called the crazy streams, I forget every word now. The epiglottis. So your larynx here, where you do breathing, yeah? And where sound comes out, where air comes out, a little flap of cartilage closes it, okay? So that food bolus doesn't go down through your larynx and choke you. Instead, you swallow it down. That's a big deal. Don't talk. You're swallowing. Your body is closing off your airway so that you don't choke. So trying to talk through that, like, the proclivity to injury is so fucking high. It is very disappointing, and it sounds dramatic but a bit disgusting that people still teach that. Because if they did a little bit of research, they would so quickly know. Like, that's a technique that was developed about 20 years ago, and the field has long moved on from it, and any professional will tell you how harmful that technique is. Anyone that's still saying swallow and hold, frankly, has done zero research, has not reached out to any other professionals, and is just kind of winging it with people's voices, which is a bit gross, in my opinion. Yeah. I fully understand how you've ended up finding swallow and hold, because too many people suggest to do it. Do not do it. It's really dangerous. There's just so many people have been like injured by that. So really, really don't do it. You thought it felt wrong? Yes. If you feel like something feels wrong, it's wrong. Always. Your body knows if something feels wrong, it hurts. That's your body telling you, hey, I am receiving damage. So don't fucking do it. Head over to here, okay? This bit of here, in fact, way better exercise. No fucking injuries, okay? We're just going to be using some whispers, okay? When you whisper, if you're whispering all the way down here, and then if you try whispering all the way up here, the thing that changes there is your size gets smaller, your larynx raises, you get a brighter resonance, whichever term you prefer. Focus on the sound. Don't try to control the muscles, okay? Focus on the sound between a whisper over here and a whisper over here, okay? If you can do that, take it out of a whisper so you're no longer whispering and keep that same size adjustment, okay? So it would be something like, the word I use is cheese because that also has some other size changes it makes. Don't worry about that right now, it's more advanced stuff. Cheese, 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 cheese. Cheese. So you bring it out of a whisper halfway through your last one, okay? Do like a really extended one, bring it out of a whisper halfway through. And take that same sound change into just some talking, okay? Just talking about anything. Cheese, 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 cheese. And then continue that through your voice as you go through whatever talking you're going to be doing, okay? And to further prove that that is making the change that you're wanting, there's my Adam's apple, part of my larynx. Cheese, 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 cheese. You can see it going up. No swallow and holds. Use my big cheese, little cheese. It's an adaptation of Big Dog, Little Dog, if you ever come across that. Yeah. All right. We'll say 5 more minutes, because I do need to prepare for the lesson. Seriously though, thank you all so much for coming. Like genuinely, just thank you, I guess. Yeah, this is all I got. Just thank you. Again, like if you're wanting more help from me, tune into more streams, obviously, and head over to the Discord. The Discord's the best place to go. I guess if you're wanting to like support what we do, you can head to the Ko-fi. So if I do !Ko-fi, a lot of the funding for Trans Network, the reason why things are so cheap and why I give away so many free resources is because people support over at the Ko-fi. We also have free makeup workshops once a month, and those are funded by the people that support over at Ko-fi. That's how I was able to hire a professional makeup artist. Why is that command not working? Oh, it's dash fi. Why did I make that? I will set that up in the future so that it can be both. So you're looking for this. So if you want to, we do have like TTS things as well if you want to play with that stuff. But if you want to support over the Ko-fi, like, just thank you so much for doing so. You are helping other people receive care. So yeah, if you want to do that, then 100%. Yeah, I guess also like, comment, subscribe, the usual things. If you want to help the algorithm do more things, then, like, you know, that'll help me, obviously. It'll help it get out to more people. What little plugs am I supposed to do at an end of something? Yeah, Discord, YouTube, Ko-fi. I think that's the normal places. I did make a Blue Sky, which I assume would be something like bluesky.com/transnetwork or /_transnetwork or something like that. However Blue Sky things work. I'll be honest, I haven't used it at all because I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing with that. I never had Twitter, so... but I'll try to use it more to figure out what you're even supposed to do on it. Yeah. I suppose future events, if I bring up my Discord. So yeah, we have the voice workshop is the next thing. Again, Saturday, June the 21st, 7 o'clock BST. If I grab my calendar, let me just get this on that window, because for obvious reason. So on Saturday we have the voice workshop where we go through absolutely everything in full detail. So if you're trying to learn stuff, really do attend that because you've got to learn so much from it. Then after that we have another public lesson on the 24th, next Tuesday, and that's 12 o'clock BST. So you can check out that. And then we also have next week we again have a public lesson with Mara. So yeah, check those things out. Yeah, okay. 2 more minutes. Do you have any last questions? Take your opportunity. Just any questions you have whatsoever. It doesn't have to be about voice, but obviously that's my expertise. So yeah, take advantage of your last 2 minutes. And thank you all for being here. Yeah, it's just cool. Thanks so much. Thank you so much, Samantha. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Thank you. That's all I got. Also, Samantha, I hope the stuff, the homework that I gave you has been going okay. With you trying to like build up better, like goals and stuff. Yeah, I hope that's been working out okay. Oh, soul strings. If you would like to be a mod, you can be a mod if you want to. We had to make, I had to hurriedly make a couple of mods, and Lismara and Mihugi volunteered to do so because we had like 60 people here and it was getting a bit crazy. We had one person who seemed like a bit of a tosser. Yeah, mod. Like, you get to ban people and stuff if you're being crazy. Obviously, you don't have to, just because you are like an OG. So if you'd like to, you can. Yeah. So if we have another situation where we're like 60 people and I'm having to like catch up on chat, then like you would be helping to make sure that people are chilling out. Or just like essentially when we get people that are transphobic that are like just coming in to be a nuisance, then you would be banning them. No, it's not a job offer. It's just a volunteer thing. Just when you're here, you would be able to moderate. It's not an obligation. Just yeah, when you're here, you'd be able to do that. Still trying to find voice goals, but you're happier with what you got going for now. That's good. That's good. My suspicion, Samantha, having heard your voice, is that you might realise that actually you quite like it. Like, it sounds feminine. Whether it sounds like the type of feminine you want, I don't know, because I don't know what type of feminine you want. But yeah. Yeah. Also, yes, remember to drink water. Thank you, chatbot. Alright. Okay. Again, thank you all so fucking much for being here. Like, just thank you so much. This has been an insane stream. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, geez, soul strings. I must have missed that above when chat was going crazy.
Lost your voice, can only whisper? Jesus Christ. No, that's fine. Don't even worry about it. If you're needing some support with that, like, let me know. Thank you all so much for being here. Today's stream has been insane. I've never had an experience like this. We've never had anything this viral before. So just thank you for making this a thing. Thank you. That's all I got. Again, head to the Discord. That's gonna be your best place. Subscribe to YouTube for obvious reason. If you want to help with the algorithm more, like liking the stream and stuff like that, obviously helps. If you have any questions that you forgot to ask, or if I missed your question earlier, so sorry for that. Either comment it below, like after this becomes a video. Like when I stop going live, the VOD stays up, so you'll be able to comment on it at that point, or you might already be able to comment. I don't exactly know how it works. But yeah, if you like realize you had a question that you didn't get a chance to ask, or if I missed your question, then just make a comment and I'll get to it when I can, or join the Discord and ask in there, and again, I'll get to you as soon as I can. Getting like 50 subs, that's insane. That's fucking nuts. Yeah, shit. Okay, I do gotta go. Thank you all for being here so much. And I'll see you all on Saturday. Get your booties there, Saturday, 7 p.m. BST, either in the YouTube chat or you'll gain the most from being in the Discord. But like, it's up to you. Okay, alright. I'll see you on Saturday. Have a wonderful rest of your evenings. And yeah, chat. Have a good day, everyone. Alright, good luck with your voices and appreciate your faces. Bye.